And we're back. We've got Ken, we've got DJB in the building. Wednesday is always a pleasure. How you lads doing, man? We've got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, not bad, DJ. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, not a bad day. I don't know where the summer's gone. The summer seems to have disappeared overnight. But other than that, and I'm slowly getting over the game against Liverpool. Very, very slowly getting over it.
I don't think you're going to get over it, D, man, because we're going to have to go over it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Lots to talk about. How's
the superstar Kenny doing? He's doing his hair. He's maybe like Gyökeres, another guard.
I'm okay. I think what's happening is that our manager's got this insane ability or unique ability to bring us back down to earth. Just shows you, despite the fact that he's got all the tools and he's got the opportunity and he's got options, he's making it so complicated when it doesn't have to be complicated. He has to make decisions, after the international break that, that are going to have to be for the benefit of the team. When players come back from fully fit, he's got to be able to make decisions, and he's got to be able to, because he's got no excuses now. He's got the players, he's got the opportunity to play differently. So the way I look at it, I've got to say one thing and one thing only. Arsenal will lose the title for two reasons. One, because they're not good enough. But number two, if they do not win this title, we're always going to look back on opportunities lost, from the players and the manager.
Wow. D, you got anything to say to that?
Not really. I mean, it's evident, isn't it? It's always one step forward, 3 steps back with this manager. And people say it's a one-off result, but it's not a one-off result. If you go back, Carabao Cup, Newcastle, FA Cup, Manchester United, PSG semi-final, Bayern Munich, Champions League.
Crunch moments.
All the evidence is there. And no matter what people say, this was a big game. Arsenal versus Liverpool, no matter when you play them in the season, is a massive game. The fact that we played them at the beginning of the season was our chance to actually go there and set a marker down and show that we are going to be in this title come what may. And if you are going to win it, Liverpool, well, we've got news for you. It ain't going to be easy. And what does he do? He builds us all up. We're buzzing over the Eze. You have all that euphoria about Eze. No tunnel now been taken away at the Emirates. He gets paraded onto the pitch. Everyone gassing him up. Whole stadium erupts against Leeds. And then he goes to Anfield and he plays Marino.
In midfield.
I just... the problem is, right, the protection over this manager and the gassing up over this manager on results in the past, on one-off moments in the past, has got to stop. You've got to stop looking back. You've got to stop looking back at the Real Madrids and, we finished runners-up, we've done runners-up, and, what a brilliant season we had in the 21, 22, 20. Look at the football we was playing under him compared to other managers. That's all got to stop now. Because you can't keep living in the past now, because the facts of the matter is the past will tell you that we haven't won nothing. And the future is looking like we're not going to win anything under this manager. We said that he had to change his ways. We said he had to change his ways tactically. We said it all summer. When we was coming on these shows, we were saying, DG, weren't we? We were saying, like, he's got to be braver. He's got to take risks. He's got to take chances. He's got to change the way he sets up. We're going now as if we went now as a team in April fighting for relegation and needing a point to stay in the Premiership. We didn't go there as a team as Liverpool's biggest rivals. We're the biggest rivals. The onus is on us. Liverpool have won the league. They've got nothing to prove. They've won the league. We needed to go there and prove something. The emphasis was on us. And what does he do? He goes there, he plays it safe, it's tactically boring. I mean, how can he look at that game and honestly think that team that he selected was good enough to beat Liverpool? How can he actually look at himself in the mirror and say, that team that I picked was good enough to beat Liverpool? Because we weren't going to beat Liverpool, and people are going on about the free kick. Even if that free kick hadn't have gone in, there was only one team that was going to score in that second half, whether it was
That's
from
my thing. There was no in-game change-up of the tactics. Like the free kick
Exactly.
was amazing, but it's the build-up to what led to it. Like you see,
Exactly.
we needed to change something.
Exactly. So I know the free kick beat us, but if you take away that free kick, we was never going to win the game anyway. And if that free kick hadn't have gone in and we'd have got to the 93rd minute, Eze would never have come onto that pitch. If that had been 0-0 in the 93rd minute, he would have kept the same team, gone away with a draw 0-0, and that was it. And it's just crazy. There's loads of questions to ask. I mean, you look at him bringing Dowman. You look at him bringing Dowman on, and Nwaneri's sitting on the bench when he's further down the line.
Lewis-Skelly.
When he's further down the line in his development, Miles Lewis-Skelly sitting there. You know, he's not taking chances. The bottom line is, DG, the guy just hasn't learned. He hasn't learned. He still thinks he knows best all the time. He's too stubborn. He's too set in his ways. Instead of playing it easy, instead of doing the easy things and the logical things, he tries to do it the Arteta way. That's all well and good if you've got credit in the bank and you've won premierships.
If you don't,
yeah. I mean, if you've won endless trophies, then we'd be sitting here struggling to question him, saying, well, how can you question him when he's won 3 Premiership trophies? Like Pep Guardiola, he's not really getting questioned because he's been there and done it and won multiple things. But this guy, he's acting as if he's like won everything there is to win. And then when you criticise, well, he hasn't. He hasn't done anything. He's literally done nothing at all. And he goes to Anfield, and it's just crazy. And now, on top of that, we've got a striker that looks, and I said this before, that looks bang average.
We're not creating nothing. Like
He's
you want
a
him to
striker
eat, you have
that
to make
looks bang average. He's had 3 shots in his first 3 games. 3 shots.
But we knew this. We could have got Isaac, Sesko, some
Doesn't
people
matter
wanted
who you
Gyökeres. Don't matter who's up front, they're going to struggle. You don't
Doesn't
create
matter
it.
who you get under this football manager. The facts of the matter is, it ain't going to change. And even, you know, people said, oh, yeah, but Gyökeres weren't he signing. Well, even if Sesko had come in, he'd still be the same. Still be the same.
Yeah,
It's just madness. It really is. And it's so disappointing and frustrating. It really is so disappointing and frustrating. And yet the excuses, when he's in the press, he's not getting put under pressure. The excuses are still rolling out. You know, Unai Emery with Aston Villa, the way they've started this season, has had more stress and more pressurised questioning in his press conferences than Arteta has. I don't get the protection. Someone tell me where it all comes from, because I just don't get it.
You have to understand the protection. You know, since the Sir Alex Ferguson days, you know, Alex Ferguson, one of his main characteristics, he didn't like criticism. He didn't like journalists who he deemed to be respectful or disrespectful to Man United. So what's happened now is that you've got journalists who are meek, because he was one of the very few. He used to ban journalists left, right, and centre. Even thought their relatives did. He used to ban journalists left, right, and centre. So what's happening now is that the modern manager has followed that kind of example. So what you're getting now is that back in the 80s and 70s, you used to have these powerhouse journalists, big names. Jeff Powell doesn't do football much anymore. He still works, but he mainly does feature writing. He doesn't get in the nitty-gritty. You had Harry Harris, you had John Sadler, you know, all back names, Brian Warno, you know, Mick Dennis, all these guys, Mia Bose. Now you don't have them. You have a younger crop who, some of them who had their own podcasts, you know, football fans, and access is their God. So not going to put people under pressure, because Arsenal already tell them the do's and don'ts.
Trying to control the narrative.
Manager. Another thing as well, you look at the situation regarding some of these guys. I think it means more to them, you know, the manager knowing their Christian name or the woman at Arsenal knowing who they are than it is them making a living, because that is their living. And I think that's where we get it. So Alex Ferguson, great manager, but he created a sort of an atmosphere where if you dare criticise a powerful club or powerful
Go against
manager,
the grain, you're out of here.
that's it. You're done. But in terms of like Mikel in itself, the fact is that as soon as I saw the team, the first thing I said is that if they wanted both, you know, Arna and Mikel would have shook their hands before the kickoff and said, "Yeah, we'll settle for this. Let's not lay a glove on each other. Let's just play for this little draw, and then the real business starts on the 7th of January when, you know, at your place." You know what I mean? And I think that team stats just screamed about it, because I always say if you have all these options, for instance, a trades, you know, you can have all these tools, you can have all, yeah, you can have the bench,
same
you can have the
example.
hammer, you can have the saw, you can have all these sort of implements, but it doesn't make you a tradie. And that's the situation with Arteta in his squad. When managers say, "Oh, it's a good headache," whatever, I think it's a massive headache and not a good one for the manager, because he's got all these players, but he's got this set way of playing, which he believes is successful because Arsenal don't get thrashed 2 or 3-0. We don't concede many goals. We put teams under. We kill teams hard, and then we go on a counter attack. We go and win, and that's how he wants to win it. And then we've also got these set pieces. So when you get new players in, like Eze, and we all get excited, people like myself
should have been starting.
Who's the sort of person who say, you know what, Father Christmas doesn't exist. The Tooth Fairy don't exist. I'm the one who put the fiver in behind your pillow, not the Tooth Fairy. A question I was asking my brother, and I was asking people in this panel before, we've got Eze, but where is he going to play? What is this manager
left wing sort it out later now, man?
We know that, but the fact is, we're excited about having him play, but we're still not sure how the manager's going to get the best out of him, how he's going to utilise him. We looked at Gyökeres, an out-and-out striker, and the first question we said is, how is this manager going to alter the style of play to get the best out of him? And that's the situation. We've got all this, you know, because of injuries, we've got a massive squad. But I watched the game, and I couldn't help thinking, yeah, Liverpool, we're bullying Liverpool. Yes, we control possession. Yes, we neutralise Salah. But what Liverpool did in the second half is that they got in amongst us. They pressed and earned the right to play. And then
it was like further up the field. They knew we weren't leave man up there.
They stopped going down the wings. They got Wirtz on the ball. He started making slide through passes, and then we were on the back foot. And then by the time Liverpool looked like the intensity, we started bringing all these players on, but it was too late. Liverpool in control of the game. Free kick was fantastic, but for Arsenal fans to say, "Yeah, well, it's not every day you lose by a free kick," you know.
Yeah, are we exaggerating, Kenny? We've lost to the reigning champions 3 games into
not really. Because if you not really,
some are saying Arsenal fans are doing that.
No, not at all. Don't listen to these guys, because those are the same guys who are putting Liverpool down. They were the same guys that are criticising Konate. They're the same guys who are saying Liverpool are very vulnerable defensively, and that they're terrible and they're awful. Those sort of the adjectives I was hearing, and that you only have to watch the fan cams where people said, "This is the first time when I'm going to Anfield where I go with a lot of confidence." After we beat the mighty Leeds, who just came from the Championship, the mighty Leeds, who didn't even lay the glove on us. They were so bad that we had to bring a 15-year-old to some made him man of the match. So when I hear all these people talk about these questions, they went to Liverpool with a lot of confidence. They're even more confident when they saw the Newcastle game, and they thought Konate would be a weakness. Little did they know, and little did they know about football. So can't just turn a clock back and say, well, we didn't lose to Bolton, we lost to Liverpool. Hang on here. This is Liverpool last season that you didn't rate. You thought that because Man City were off the tangent, that it was us to win the title. What's changed? And then some of you wanting the manager sacked because Liverpool had a temerity to win the title over us. So don't start, make your minds up. Either you rate Liverpool or you don't rate Liverpool. And then if you don't rate Liverpool and you think we should do better, then say so. Because don't be afraid to criticise the manager. Not one Arsenal fan was happy with that lineup. Didn't respect it, didn't like it. We knew it was going to be, and we saw lack of creativity. Look at Eze's face. The expression, what a difference 8 days make. 8 days before Anfield, he was smiling, he was really happy. 8 days later, he's like, what? I'm on the bench. And then talk about Ranieri. We're basically telling, and it's Arsenal fans, not the manager, Arsenal fans, us, we're basically telling him a 15-year-old's better than him. He's better than him. So when Arsenal fans
Ranieri didn't come on,
they'll criticise Sky and say they're going in. No. It works both ways. And when you look at the in-game sort of comments, which you shouldn't do anyway, they're critical of the manager. So let's just be honest. If we had won this game, they would be saying 90% of our supporters would have said it's our title to lose, and they'd have made us the favourites. And I looked at us and said, City of nowhere, Liverpool washed. We told you about Liverpool. We told you it was only a one-season wonder after the 3 games. I know these fans. I know how they do. You don't even have the bed makes itself with a lot of these content creators. You know, the clothes are already on the back. The shoes are already on the feet. We know what they're doing. Verbatim. We know how they think. They have a script, right? They have a script for when we win, and they have a script for when we lose. Draws mean nothing to them because they have to think a bit more. But when we win, I told you so. I told you about this manager. When we lose, you guys, you're going a bit over the top. Look what he's done for us. Great manager, blah, blah. And then when you push, he's got to win it in the end of the season. Make your minds up. Do better. Change the script. We know what you're going to say. Remember, I've got memory of an elephant. I know what you were saying before the game. I know what you're saying in game, and I know what you were going to say afterwards. You don't surprise me. Mikel Arteta was Liverpool's man of the match. Let that sink in. He wasn't Slobosly. He wasn't Kanate, who, by the way, locked up Gyökeres. He was Mikel Arteta. Who was their man of the match.
But we never had Saliba. Well, Saliba came off. Is that a reason why we might have been more pragmatic?
No.
I got to ask the question, guys.
You're clutching at straws there, my
friend. No, doesn't mean I've got to ask the question.
Even if Saliba plays that 90 minutes, that the pattern of play and the way we played and set up was not going to change. In fact, it might have even been worse with Saliba on the pitch, to be honest with you, because he knew he was really safe. But
true.
Just throughout the game, and see, the problem is, let's see a Liverpool without Virgil van Dijk. Look, I'm not interested in Liverpool. I'm not interested in Man City. I'm not interested in Man United.
Facts.
I'm interested in Arsenal now. It's about what we do. This guy's in his 7th year as management. He's not a rookie anymore. He's an established football manager. He's nicking £15 million from this football club.
He's got more options than you can count. It's time to deliver, man.
He's had over £1 billion. He's had over £1 billion in funding for players. What Kenny said. Right? He's not a rookie anymore. It's about what Arteta does. And I said this, that game on Sunday, the emphasis was on Arteta.
Especially the second half, man.
People weren't really looking at individual players. They were looking at what the manager was going to do. This was his big test.
Be unpredictable.
This was his big test. What is he going to do? What is he learned from the season before and the season before that? Now we've got the number 9. What is Arteta going to show us today at Anfield that we mean business? And he failed. And he keeps on failing, and he keeps on failing. All you're doing is just throwing money at it, more money at it, more money at it. And it ain't going to work. It's not going to work. See, the problem is now we've got a number 9 now that runs around, no service. Tactically, we don't know how to play.
Might as well do London Marathon, Gyökeres, because you ain't going to play football.
What is his point? What is his point in being there? We was all, Gyökeres and 25 goals this season, 30 goals this season, 28 goals this season. We're going to get, Gyökeres is going to bag loads of goals this season. He's not. The fact of the matter is, under this manager, Gyökeres will be lucky to score 15 goals.
The manager's got the ingredients. It's down to you to cook.
Get your head round it.
You can count.
Get your head round it. Get your head around it. But we can carry on living in the past. If you want to live in the past, we can say, yeah, we finished runners up. We beat Real Madrid, beat Man City 5-1. We can just keep living in the past, and we can just be happy finishing runners up. We won't even get runners up this year. Chelsea look better than us. Chelsea look more exciting than us.
I don't know, D. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Chelsea look a bit shaky.
Listen, it's not going to be. It is not going to be easy this season. There's going to be teams
100%.
this season. There's going to be teams this season where it's going to be hard to get a result. Everton are looking good. He's turned them around. Who'd have thought Jack Grealish? Eh? Oh, I don't want Jack Grealish. He's washed up. His legs are gone. Really? But you're happy to have Martinelli on the left, yeah? This is where we've come to. This is where we've come to as a football club. The expectations of the majority of the fan base of this football club is happy just to sit in the slow lane and just plod along. Just plod along. And every now and again have their day out in the sun. Every now and again have their day out where they go, oh yeah, we beat Man City at home, or have their one-off result, and they're happy just to lap it all up and rub people's noses in it. Oh, I told you so. Long term, week in, week out, competition in, competition out. Tactically, he's inept. In-game management, he's inept. And he's getting found out. If we can see it, how do you think other coaches that are more qualified than us can see it?
They've seen it, though. They've seen it, though.
It's easy.
You think about it.
They know things ain't going to change.
You think about it. We're in danger of a crucial fact, because at the moment it can be like I said, become a myth. Sometimes when I watch us play, and when I watched us play last season, and I saw the Liverpool game, I always say to myself, I think the 23-24 season is as good as it's going to get under this guy, because that time, despite the fact that there was always you always felt you had to sleep with the lights on, with one eye open, because of the Man City, run. But you always felt that after the Crystal Palace game, when they came back from the Middle East, where Declan Rice became a dead balls specialist, and Saka on the other side, and we basically were smashing teams with set pieces. We're going to places and saying, you know what, get out of our way. We bullied them, battered them. We played power football. And then we got to a situation where we went to the Etihad and we reverted to our type. Didn't go there to lay down a marker. Got a draw. Even though it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it didn't matter because we still had the points. So Paul Scholes was right in one aspect, but he's probably harsh in other aspects. That's the Villa game when he made his change. He tried to be adventurous, killed him. And then afterwards, we went back to be playing power football. That was probably his best side he's ever had. But as you said, DJB, what teams have done is they've worked us out.
Yeah.
Low teams have come with the low block. Referees are watching us on set pieces. Liverpool were fantastic on the set pieces.
See the way they were grabbing Gabriel Magalhaes? They done their homework.
It was cute because this is how you get away with a foul. You can foul, but don't hold on.
Exactly.
Do this. You play the game where if someone's on you, right? You do this, especially when the camera's on. If the camera's ain't on, you do that. When someone's on, you just do that, or bump into them, and then that's it. The ball's over. They can't move. But when you're doing that, you're giving away a penalty. Or you know what I mean? And that's what Liverpool did. The smaller players were very subtle. They fouled them, but what happened is they didn't. Referees only give free kicks if it's held. If it's like little contact, the referees don't know.
You jump into them.
And that's the thing. But it was happening last season. Teams got wise up to us, and then the low block. That's how teams are beginning to work us out. That's why you buy Gyökeres, you buy Eze, you basically shake the tree. And you think, right, there's another way to play. You buy Zubimendi, you think, right, blah, blah, let's see if we can shake the tree. Let's move the compass tactically in a different direction. The problem is that it's up here. When you're so entrenched, in how we should play, and then you're so entrenched about, the personnel that we play. You want to have situations with Saliba where Saliba's clearly turned his ankle inside out, can't run to save it, but adrenaline makes him want to play. The manager thinks, yeah, you're my best defender, I need you, and blah,
Big up
blah.
Mascara, he did well.
You bring him on. But what's happened is that the first tactical, like I said, mistake he made was that in playing Saliba, that's one less attacking player we could have brought on, because we've wasted that substitution on a defender when you're trying to win the game. If you're going to try and win a game, you go a goal down. You don't want to be one substitute down because an injured player's played, and that's him all along. He is married to the system and he's married to the personnel. Players who've signed to his football club, they're going to be find it very difficult to dislodge certain players. The Martinelli thing is going to be in his gravestone, because I called it out 2 seasons ago that it's not going to work with this guy. We've seen the best of Martinelli, and people push back. I was even recently in the show with SG, your mate SG. He was pushing back when I called for Martinelli to be sold. How do you think that, SG, if you're watching, how'd that go? I did tell you. I've told all of you. Oh, Martinelli's elite. Elite what? This is an example.
Tracks back, man. He works really hard.
This is an example of Martinelli. Let me show you what Martinelli did. He has to. Gyökeres has made a split run.
Oh, Kenny, don't remind me.
Martinelli's got the ball, and then a normal footballer would be like this. It's a case of, I've got to time this place. But this is what Martinelli does.
Yeah. He's never got his head up.
He looks up, and when he's going there, he went, "Oh shit, it's Canate there."
No, but I've got past looking at the players now. Like Kenny said, they're tools.
By the way, this Canate. If any of you guys knew your football, you would know that Canate doesn't like small players running at him. He likes big lads because he knows, because he's the biggest lad out there. So when Gyökeres was trying to rough him up, he said, "You want to bet?" He was framing around like a toy, like he was not there, because Canate, that's what he's there for. The ball playing and reading the game is Van Dijk. Canate's there to beat people up. Look at the way Liverpool fans were going, screaming at him like a cult hero. And he was going up the cult, going like that after what he did to Martinelli, because they don't recognise physically you ain't winning any battles with this guy. Look at
thing is, I've been with you, Kenny, for the last 2 years. Martinelli had to be moved on, but I don't really like getting on Martinelli's case, because it's this manager that's absolutely destroyed him. And I think by getting on Martinelli's case, you're deflecting away from the manager that's absolutely ruined him.
About the tools now at this point, man.
Because Martinelli weren't that bad until Arteta got his claws into him. And this is what we're saying now with the Eze thing. Eze is a left winger. Eze can play on the left. But factually, Eze's more creative, and Eze plays better football in a more central attacking role, in a 10. Now, the only reason why this manager won't play him in a 10, because if Eze plays in a 10 and balls out...
Miguel would disagree. He's got the heat map, speaking
and gets... Well, I told him to put up the heat map of Odegaard, and it was very similar. Right? But...
big off a go.
If Eze balls out in the 10 and he starts getting assists and goals, then it gives the manager a problem, doesn't it? Because then he's got to drop Odegaard. And he can't do it. He can't do it. He hasn't got.
Why don't we see players swapping positions and stuff? Because they're very experienced now. Like, they know how to defend. We could even gamble knowing Saliba can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. We've got the players to do that.
Because Liverpool did it against us. They said,
we've got the players to do that.
Go further
I've
up.
always said, if you set Odegaard down and go, right, don't stick to your 10, just wander around. Feel free. Pop over on the left, pop over on the right. Just go freely. We've got Zubimendi and Rice. We've got a comfortable defence. We're solid defensively. Go and express yourself. You know, like Vitinha does for PSG. He's everywhere. He buzzes around everywhere, doesn't he?
That's why I said it, DJB, because the players on the
right, and then he can do that with Odegaard, but he don't. What he does is he as Kenny said, he sticks to his ways, And his way, it's his way or no way. And the problem is now is you're going to put Eze on the left, week in, week out, and slowly but surely you'll see Eze become more and more and more and more ineffective. And people have started going, what's happened to Eze? What's happened to Eze? You watch.
Look at Joey Cole.
Look at Joe. Exactly. I was just going to mention that. Look at Joe Cole. Look at Joe Cole when he was playing out of his natural position. Joe Cole was one of the best players, similar to Eze, that ever put a pair of football boots on, right? He was absolutely naturally gifted. He was played out of position, and slowly but surely he dwindled away. And under this manager, it will happen with Eze. And I'll tell you another thing what will happen in the future, DG. And you're not going to like this, fan base and chat, but when Havertz is fully fit, he's starting above Gyökeres.
I don't think that's too dissimilar. I think if
these three games, the manager has seen enough of Gyökeres already to know that Havertz is his man. Guarantee it. And this is what you're going to have to put up with. Or he'll put Gyökeres out on the left, which I've said many a times. That's another option he'll probably go down. And it honestly, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
What do you make of this?
I don't know how long. I don't know how long people are going to keep hiding under a blanket all the time.
No, that's a good point. You know, good point. But we've already had discussions where, you know, Bubblegum Bandit has said, despite the manager's instructions, some blame have to lie on the players for not taking the initiative themselves.
They did see that against Real Madrid.
You and I know that when you do play for these managers, you know,
I've get on the pitch again if you don't listen.
Amory and Mikel, you virtually have to play the way you're told. You know what I mean? There's no room for any sort of panache or creativity or individual thinking when these managers play. These managers set up teams. And that's just a fact. You know, people were saying about, you know, JD talks about, you know, you can't really blame Mikel Arteta for the Martinelli thing. Of course you can't. You can't blame Mikel Arteta for Martinelli making a bad decision.
By the end of the day, you're playing him.
Yeah, but you don't have to select him. You've got other options now. You know, you've got an option if you want to play. You could have played Trossard, whose decision making is a lot better than Martinelli.
Could have just slapped Eze out there. He's had the pre-season, unlike
Eze, exactly.
Trossard was fit to start at Anfield. You could have started him. So it's your decision. You've trusted Martinelli. Another thing as well, Eze as well. You know, when Saka is fit, you could play Madueke there as well because he was a big signing for us as well. So we don't blame you, Mikel, for Martinelli's mistakes. We blame you for the continuing to prioritise his ability to use his pace to get up and down a pitch because it suits his system.
In-game management games like Anfield.
The other day, the Martinelli that we fell in love with, well, you know, it's hard for me to fall in love with any player because I'm such a miserable bastard. But basically, what the situation is regarding Martinelli, the Martinelli we liked was the Martinelli that played on the shoulder when he played up top, and then he got in behind players and got himself goal positions. But the Martinelli we liked when we played him on the left hand side is where he played. He played like basically Mikel wants him out there, but occasionally when he hit the box, there's no way you could touch him. Because he was too quick, you give away a penalty. And that Mikel and that Martinelli got into good goal scoring positions. That Martinelli that under Mikel has got no confidence to go and do that because what's happening is that when he's trying to take on his right back, it doesn't matter whether the right back's got pace or not. The right back just says, right, you're not getting into there. You know what I mean? You didn't get into those positions. We're not letting you get into there. And what we've learned as well is that the quicker midfielders with a bit of pace are when they're helping out their right back, they're doubling up. So when Martinelli tries to do like the kick and run, they're already catching them up. The first time I realised that Martinelli teams worked out Martinelli, Tyler Diblin last year against Southampton when Tyler Diblin done him for
Ashley Young.
Ashley Young, but another one was Bruno Fernandes. They won. We beat them 2-0, but Bruno Fernandes done him as well. And I was thinking, bloody hell, that's not the Martinelli we know. No, don't get me wrong. If he's sacrificing the team, good luck on that. But the fact is that when you're a team like Arsenal and you're trying to win games and you're trying to play, attacking football, you can't select Martinelli. Let's not forget why were you in for Sesko? Why are you prepared to break the club at the time a club record transfer fee for not Sesko? What's his name? The guy from went to Chelsea. What's his name?
Mudryk.
Mudryk, that's right. Why were you prepared to go for Mudryk? Even then, in
6 months into the outbreak season from Nelly as well.
Even then, he must have realised that he can get more out of another player than Martinelli. So he's the one who laid the seed. And his performances, in the tail end, second after 23-24 season, made me think, well, it's not working. So you're not slack. I say it now. That's going to be a problem if you keep on playing him, because what will happen is that you're not going to get anything from him, and then you're going to find that after 70 minutes you're going to get him off the pitch because
that's why he should be a squad player, man.
Well,
I've here for at least a year.
We've missed the boat. I think we should have sold him. And cut our ties.
We tried to. We valued him at 60. We only had offers of 40.
If you're saying Eze plays on the left, and you're saying Madueke could play on the left, and then you've got Johnson. If the managers are that forward thinking, where's he going to play? When is he going to get a game?
Martinelli's thing should be a squad thing, man. The way he started the first 2 games of the season, you're just on the bench. If you're utilised, you're utilised. Like, I'm with Arteta now. It's how you utilise the tools available. I understand the fact of where we're at with Martinelli, and you need to go backwards, but none of it's making sense. I even understand why Marino started, but it's too predictable. And when you're going with Liverpool, kind of what you both said, you need to do something different. So Slot thinks hang about, because for me, the game, I don't think we were terrible. I don't think they were amazing. I think it was headed for a draw. But for me, what made the difference is probably this whole of the second half, but the 15 minutes. You saw what Slot did. He gambled with getting Szoboszlai and all of them further forward. And how much of that was contingent on Slot doing what he wanted to do anyways, but thinking, you know what, Arteta's not going to change nothing. We don't leave players further up the pitch. We get into our shape. We're playing into people's hands. This is where I need the manager to do different things. If we want to get into a different scenario, we need to do different things. Or us three are going to be talking about the same things. This is where the frustration comes with now.
Go on, man. Go on, Kenny.
No, the first decision he has to make, he can't be starting with this guy in any capacity. If Bingham would have benched you must, but him starting games, he's just not the player anymore. We've moved.
I don't even want to make it all about Martinelli.
Well, you don't have to make it, but when he's in a situation where he has to make a simple pass to get a multi-million-pound striker in, and he wets the bed again, and then finds himself being marshalled to the corner flag by Kanate. And basically, he didn't even win a corner. It was a goal kick in the end. That's how low he's
well at Anfield as well. Don't know what happened to him.
The fact is that it's not just me who are making these sort of like appraisals of Martinelli. It was happening all last season. I've got tapes of everyone who've cited his deficiencies. I've seen the written tweets as well, where they've said, "Oh, Martinelli hasn't done this and that, and he can't beat his man." It's not just me saying it. It's not legenda. The fact is that we now got a situation where we can try use other players in that position. But if we want to be a strong offensive team, he can't be in that team. He just can't.
I can't defend him, SLD. Like, Martinelli's not defending himself. What do you want me to do? Lie? Like, as I said, it's got to the point where I'm not just making this all about the manager, but the Arteta, you've got the tools in it. If I'm still saying the same things about Martinelli, if Marino's still out there, where I understand it, we want 2 banks of 4-4-4-2. He's running when he can in behind Gyökeres. I hear it. But you're not changing things. Like, sometimes, like, we all know if Kai Havertz was fit, he probably would have done the Marino thing. But that's where I want Arteta to go, do you know what? Let me try something else. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Had it have been 0-0 and Arteta gambled, I'd still have something to say. But for me and where we're at with the manager, I would have sat there and said, you know what? You gambled, you forced the ball out. They went down the other end and scored. It done us dirty at Anfield. It might save us at another time in the Premier League, because we're very risk averse, and not taking a risk has become a risk now. But that's just me, man. SLD.
It's just the performance. I mean, I don't see how anyone can look at that game and I mean, we performed badly against Manchester United first game of the season. Got away with a 1-0 win. We've performed badly pre-season. All the cracks and all the evidence was there pre-season.
And before
How we played against Spurs pre-season.
Sorry, DJB. Sorry, I apologise for interrupting you, but I've got JD. We won these games in spite of Martinelli. Calm down, mate. We won them in spite of Martinelli. I know you're a Martinelli fan, but calm down. The guy's not good enough. He's not good enough to play in this team. He was not in those games he won. When he won, what are you holding on to the goal against Real Madrid? Shall we do a little
That's what I said earlier in the stream. They live in the past.
Martinelli is not
they
good
won't give it up. They won't give it up. They live in the past.
Let it go. Let it go,
Can't
JD.
give it up.
Let it go.
It's what they're hanging on to hit people with about Arteta. As long as we can keep bringing up certain elements of the past, as long as we can bring up past performances, as long as we can keep bringing these things up, we can still hang on to hope. And that's all they have. They only have hope. The facts of the matter is Martinelli has fallen off of a cliff, like a lot of football players under this football manager has fallen off of a cliff. And Gyökeres, you're seeing signs already falling off of a cliff. He's just climbed up to the top. He's ready to go over the top of it with this manager. He's had 3 games, 3 shots. We had 1 shot at Anfield, guys, and you're saying it's a good performance. 1 shot. You've got £62 million forward. You've got a £65+ million Eze on the bench that's just won an FA Cup that's absolutely as high as a kite. You've got Wanyeri, brilliant prospect, coming on.
You've got Liverpool with chinks in the armour, to be fair, at this point in the season.
You got Dowman busting it up pre-season. People saying, "Oh, he's the next this and he's the next that." Blah blah blah. And we've gone to Anfield and had 1 shot, and you're telling me it's a good performance? Come on, get out of this. Get out of this nonsense. The club's going to go nowhere if you keep making excuses for poor, inept management. 1 shot. This team, Liverpool struggled against 10-man Newcastle a week before. They struggled against Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth hit them very easily with a quick counter, 2 goals. Attacked them, scored 2 goals. And you're telling me that we're going to Anfield and we've got to play conservative just because it's Liverpool? When you're telling me we've got the best team in the league and we've got squad in depth, Premier League experience, and now the narratives are, well, it's Anfield. People do lose at Anfield. It's Liverpool. Week before pre-season, when we signed all these players, I've got fans telling me that we've got the best squad.
That we're comfortable without Saka as well. Shout out Madueke, because unlike Martinelli, did very well.
We should be comfortable without us.
And now we should have been going to Anfield with Liverpool scared of us. When Arnie saw that team sheet, he went in that dressing room and he went, relax, lads. Arsenal.
All you got to do is win your first and second balls based on what we saw.
Just soak it up. Canate, soak it up.
They were, though.
Soak it up.
I think it's like to balance out a bit. First half, we were bullying Liverpool.
We were bullying out the game. I'll give them that.
We tried to win on set pieces.
We were contained.
That's why I'm annoyed at Arteta, because it went left in the second half.
You know what? You know how we played, right? I think this is the base thing. The thing that we were trying to do is control the game. You know, like I said, lock off the wings,
and lock off for a moment or a set piece.
Salah, and I thought Fury did really well. I thought
Fury had
good games from him on the spin.
What's happened is that Liverpool, did you notice the team Liverpool played? Liverpool knew that, obviously looked at what we could bring to the table, saw the games last season, and that when teams gave us space, we actually murdered them. Didn't care who you are, we're going to bloody do you. So for that kind of perspective, Liverpool were no fools. You know, there was no way they were going to, leave those sort of spaces that they left for against Bournemouth. They weren't going to do like they did against Newcastle.
That's the best chance we've had to win at Anfield.
You know what I mean? Salah, if you notice with Salah played a little bit deeper.
He had an off day. You see his first touch? I couldn't believe it. I wanted 3 points.
Yeah. But the reason why, because normally when Liverpool in the centre seat, he doesn't have to do any defensive qualities. But even in the first half, he had to do it because Liverpool respected us.
And I will give Arteta. I did like Rice dropping to the centre half, so I'll give him.
Yeah. But what did they do in the second half? They responded because they're getting bullied at their own time, and then it was the mentality though. Their mentality was to get in amongst us and win that second half, win those second balls, press, cut our interceptions, and then get on the front foot. And that's how they won the game.
So I'll tell you how else they won the game as well. And I've got to bring Zubimendi into it because anyone says that Zubimendi's better than Partey.
No, he is. He died in the second half.
Zubimendi, you found his weakness. They pressed him in that second half when he had possession of the ball, and they pressed him very, very quick.
That's our hub.
Pressed him very
he died in the second half,
and he folded.
That's why I said get him off. Bring him
falling on the floor. He looked weak. He couldn't keep possession of the ball. He was under pressure, and that was his weakness. Partey's been under pressure time and time again, and he's wriggled out of it, and he's got something sorted out of it. I'm not buttering up Partey, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to make. But what I'm saying is, Zubimendi again has been brought into the team to create things, and he ain't been able to create. But
that's where I think you're right. But that's why I need the manager to read things because I think a number of our players look knackered, and I'm not a manager, fair enough. But watching the game, the second half started because.
DJB,
for me, Zubimendi needed to come off, put Rice over there, and bring on Lewis Kelly.
You do that because when you say I'm a manager, you give sucker to people who are Mikel Arteta fans who are going to think, oh, how dare you criticise them? You're not a manager.
No. I hope no one's getting that. It doesn't mean we can't have opinions.
Tell me one thing: when you watch football, do you just watch the game? Do you just look for the kits? Do you look at the boots, or do you actually try and immerse yourself in the game? If you immerse yourself in the game,
try and see what people without. I try and watch football without the ball. That's why I think Zubimendi needed to come off and
Never let me hear you say I'm not a manager because what you're doing is that you basically put yourself down when you don't need to do.
Never, man, never. Sorry, Uncle Kenny. No, but as I was saying,
most important thing to do.
When we put Rice over there, put Miles
to say,
what led to the free kick. He was dying.
I get annoyed by that sort of thing because what you do is that someone who ain't got a Scooby out about football will come and tell you, well, why should I listen to you? You're not a manager. It's like me trying to be a doctor when I'm not a doctor.
Can't play long six. Come on.
Yeah, but so never say I'm not a coach. Just say this is what I saw, this is what I've observed, and I'm basing it on the fact that I've played the game, not fully professional, and I've been watching games, and I've seen successful teams, and that should qualify you to have an opinion.
In a game like this, to go back to that comment by Jordan, I hear you. For a top team, it's a bit like Rodri in the 6th row. Rice, we know he's not the most expensive, but what I saw against Anfield, just put Rice over to the right because Zubimendi's dying. Cool. If Rice ain't the best with build-up play and all that kind of jazz, that's why I said bring on Miles Lewis Kelly. You've got an opportunity to play him in midfield. He's better and more backs himself at receiving the ball. My broader point being that is okay. Fair enough. It's 3 games into the season, but Arteta, when things are going left, I need you to be proactive. You've got options. Arguably, you've got too many options now. If I'm honest with you, this guy.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? We're having the same conversation. It comes down to his in-game management. He still hasn't learned it. That's what you've just explained there, DG, is in-game management, and he hasn't got it.
You could see even Timber looks shattered.
You could watch clips of last season. And we're still talking about the same thing under this manager, and it's never going to change.
Can I ask you a question as well? But DJB
I'll just before you do that, right? Let's get on to Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly is not a left back, okay, and said that he's a midfield player. Now he fancies Calafiori at left back. He wants Calafiori as his first choice left back. Lewis Skelly ain't getting into this team. That's it. Lewis Skelly, Ethan Nwaneri are not getting the opportunities.
Easy to leave the
in
kids
this
out.
team. All right, they're going to be lower down the pecking order. The only opportunity they're going to get is Carabao Cups, and if we're winning comfortably against teams like Leeds United, no disrespect to Leeds United, that's the only opportunity they're going to get. He's not going to take risk by moving Lewis Skelly in midfield. He won't take Zubimendi off. He's not going to take Rice off. He's not going to. His first choice to bring on is Marino, and not Lewis Skelly. His other first choice is Kai Havertz, and not Wanyeri. So these are all these are all the factors.
By that.
These are all the facts that we've seen over and over and over again with this football manager. So you just got to get your head around it. Lewis Skelly will probably end up like Kieran Tierney. And I've said Wanyeri, and I said Wanyeri will end up like Emil Smith Rowe.
Carla, you said that a lot, you know.
Yeah, but you know the situation, right? Is that if you look at our back four, he's got 4 centre halves there. The reason why he's got that,
I'm not against that. Pep said you need that being strong 1v1.
But the reason why
fullbacks, Kenny, does he?
You need to be able to pivot.
Fullback?
Yeah, but I think what the situation is right now. Originally, obviously, you know, I thought initially that he was there to sort of like be deputised for, you know, Gabriel Magalhaes because he's better on the ball. But I think the plan always was playing left back, but he got injuries, and then Lewis Skelly made the situation his own. He didn't do anything wrong to stay in the team. But now the guy's fully fit. He's going back to playing plan A, which is playing Calafiori. And one thing about Calafiori, you can always praise Lewis Skelly, but appreciate what Calafiori does. Calafiori is very good on the ball. He's a very good man marker, where we like it or not.
One bit of randomness we have in a team that's
offensively, there's work to be done. There's no doubt there's work to be done. Whilst Lewis Skelly is good with his, you know, like I said, he can receive the ball and he can take the ball in a half turn, and then he can probably invert a lot better than Calafiori. However, they got different strengths, but at the moment, Calafiori's done nothing.
He's had 3 good games. Been our player of the season if it's just 3 games.
First 3 games, he's done well. He's done well, so you can't leave him out. In terms of, like, you know, the Timber, you can't leave him out because simple reasons defensively, if he's not there, you will notice it. So it's one of the things where Pep always, the reason why Pep like playing forward centre halves, it's all about being good on the ball. If you're a goalkeeper and you're no good on the ball, you won't play in goal for Pep and them.
Well, we're going to see with Donnarumma, isn't it?
Like Pep's going to get the shock of his life with Donnarumma. He's going to get a shock of his life because Donnarumma. We know Donnarumma. Donnarumma is no way. There's going to be no 50-yard passes, no diagonal passes. The best you're going to get for Donnarumma is probably a little pass, and you want to have to basically tell the centre half to get near him just in case you don't cock it up. That's the best. But in terms of like. But in terms of like, you know, Zubimendi compared to Partey, I have to tell you one thing: they're not different. Zubimendi, right, is not the same player as Partey. He can't do what Partey does, and Partey can't do the stuff that Zubimendi does. Zubimendi is bought for Europe. In European games, you're going to see the best of Zubimendi because there's more space. What he's going to do, he's the sort of person that is going to conduct the orchestra. He's going to basically say, "Yeah, I'll give you the ball, but I need it back."
Zubamendinho.
I need to get you up this pitch. So you're going to say, "Oh, God, get out of here, mate. I need to put you out the pitch," and that's what Zubamendi's going to do. In terms of like Anfield, he had to do more in the second half to try and more defending than
we needed Norgard on that bench. If I'm honest with you, I would have made straightforward swap.
But you say that, and let's not forget the option of playing. Just think. Maybe if Norgard was fit, we may have seen Zubimendi, Norgard, and Rice at him because in pre-season, Norgard ain't done badly. He hasn't excited us, but he's done well for the manager. So I think
he might have. He might. Yeah.
He
might have really gone for it and had Norgard, Marino, Rice, and Zubimendi, all 4 of them on. Really gone for it.
Let me tell you something now, DJB.
Your Chris would love it.
No, but Norgard would have played in that team if he was fit. He probably wouldn't have played Marino. He would have played Norgard, Rice, and Zubimendi like he was doing in pre-season.
Yeah, no, I do you know what though, Kenny? I mean, you've seen like myself, you've seen hundreds and hundreds of games. I just wanted to go to Anfield with some sort of little bit of hope, even if we'd have gotten beaten, and even if we'd have lost 3-0, 3-1. If we'd have gone there, attacked, played well, peppered their goalkeeper making wonderful saves, last-ditch tackles, Eze on the ball looking good, Odegaard coming off the bench, buzzing around, Zubimendi making all these, Gyökeres looking good, shooting, few headers, crossing, all that sort of stuff. And then the wonder goal goes in. I hold my hands up and go, okay, we were done. Fair play.
Is that why we're more frustrated than DJB? Could you argue what actually happened versus what we actually expected are different?
Like maybe this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I think over the last couple of seasons, DG, and because of our summer window, because we signed Gyökeres, because we signed Eze, because we had attacking options, because we've seen the emergence of Dowman and Nwaneri, I'm thinking, we could have a go here. We could look exciting this season. We could go away from home and start playing some good stuff now. We could get back to how we were when we bottled that sort of 8-9 point lead from the Championship. Up until then, we can start playing some games. We can start really moving now. And we just turns up at Liverpool, and it's just like, honestly, I was bored. I've got to be honest with you. I did not enjoy it at all. I was bored. And in the second half, I could only see one team winning, and it wasn't us.
The only thing we couldn't see in the second half was the free kick.
The fact that we got done by a wonder goal, this is what I'm saying is, that, believe it or not, that wonder goal has got Arteta out of jail for the team he picked. Because everyone's focusing, we was only beaten by a wonderful free kick. And it's deflected everything else away from Arteta. That free kick deflected everything. And the problem is with that, if we'd have been beaten by open play and cut open and Salah had just slapped one in the top corner, everyone would be going, well, it was team selection. We didn't really go for it. But there's an excuse now. The excuse is, we was beaten by a wonderful free kick. And everything else now has had a blanket thrown over it and it was Anfield. We was beaten by a free kick. What do you expect?
And what are you saying there, DJB? Everything seems to be ifs and buts around Arsenal crossing over to the next one now.
Yeah, it's all ifs and buts. But that's what it is under this manager, isn't it? It's if only. We hope. We hope to do this.
We need to be on the right side of the fine margins now.
We hope we can do that. We hope we can do that. I'll be honest with you now. What confidence have you got as an Arsenal fan after watching that performance against Liverpool and that team selection? What confidence have you got now going to St James's Park in a couple of weeks' time? Man City,
you know it is DJB. You know it is DJB. That's kind of that's the thing. That's the sort of blue rule game. It's another big test, another big away game. We got Nottingham Forest, in the next game. I don't know what sort of Nottingham Forest game. I don't even know if Nuno is Espírito Santo is going to Espírito Santo the coach. You don't know who's going to be the coach. And then the Man City situation is that they got two.
Forest to be counter, weren't they? Forest to be counter.
Man City got the Manchester Derby when they come back from the break, and then they got us 2 hard games. But I think that's sandwiched in between.
We've got Champions League in between, haven't we? We've got Forest and Champions League.
So, but the situation is that I've got a lot of respect for Man City. I've got a lot of respect for their fans, but the way they're playing, we should go. I can't
lie. We'll top them up, man. The way they're playing,
we're at home. Man City are not going to change the way they play. They're going to want to do. We should beat them.
But weren't we saying this? Before we played Liverpool?
Personally, I was trying to tell people it's
Liverpool defending. The way Liverpool
play more into our hands, though, man.
We can get every single Arsenal fan, whether you was Arteta in or Arteta out, even myself. I'm going. We're going to go Liverpool and get a result. I can't see us getting beat. I'm going I fancy a draw. I predicted 1-1. I predicted 1-1, and then we might nick it 2-1. I'm all upbeat and confident. But again, he's done it again. He's brought you back down to earth again. This is what I do.
You think with Man City at home, I'm not putting them down for losing against Tottenham because they normally do. I won't put them down because of the fact that they lost it at Brighton. But do you remember the Man City teams down at when they were at their best, even if you want to sort of go as recently 23-24, when they went to go up like they did against Brighton, that's game over. They'll get a second and a third. What we saw against Brighton was that Man City side went 1-0 up. They were comfortable, and then for some sort of reason they stopped trying to win the game. They stopped trying to put to the sword, and that lets Brighton's in. And I think what we see in his pet teams, even if they go up or even they get the equaliser, they don't go for the kill, and that's why I'm thinking that's a game where if they play like they did against Brighton, we should clean up. But the problem is we've got to find a way to deal with the low block merchants, because we're going to get the biggest low block merchants against Newcastle. But what Newcastle do, you know what? I shake Eddie Howe's hand. Not only does he do the low block, he presses aggressive. He's got, Gyökeres is aggressive. Joe Linton's aggressive.
A bit too aggressive, but yeah.
They're all aggressive.
That's why we struggle against them. That's why we struggle.
See you next Tuesday.
We have all these athletes, but they match us power for power, and then they know that if they can get in front of us, we're not going to get back in the game. And I think we need to be able to do that, and that's why when you've got players like Eze, you got a different striker in Gyökeres, that's when you think, right, maybe we can try and do something different. It's not going to be
lining up. No, Kenny, sorry to interrupt you though. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can see him lining up similar against Newcastle because he likes to prove a point.
Yeah,
you've got to remember the manager does like to prove a point.
He now
knows that everyone's saying, "Oh, he got it wrong against Liverpool. He's got it wrong against Liverpool." But if you get in the psyche of the way this manager thinks, he's going to go, "I don't care what they say. I'm going to line up the same way against Newcastle."
Well, then make sure you get the 3 points.
I see where you're coming from. I
reckon he'll sign up very, very similar against Newcastle.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from because the other day at right back depends because he may look at
All you got to do is read his comments about the midfield against Liverpool. But go on,
yeah. But even so, I see what you mean about the Newcastle game. I know we're going a bit too far, but one of the things that we were tempted to play Martinelli is if Kieran Trippier plays at right back because he's coming to the end of his time, not as quick as he was before. So he might be tempted to play him, and that's one of the reasons why I do have my worries. But the situation is that at the end of the international break, Saka should be coming back to fitness. He's probably not going to be right for Nottingham Forest. Probably not. Maybe Man City maybe a step too far. But it's going to be a situation where he's going to have all these players fit, and that's where he's going to have to make a decision. You know what I mean? He's got to, because I'm telling you now, in my opinion, you could put Eze on the left, but in terms of Eze on the left, what he's going to want, what he's going to want from Eze on the left won't be conducive to get the best out of him from an offensive point of view. There's a lot of people who say that at Crystal Palace, he played Crystal Palace, surely he's going to have to be a lot of running and tracking back. Well, I went to Crystal Palace home and away. I saw the home game. Eze didn't operate like that. His starting position was undoubtedly at the left. But when he came in the Emirates, he occupied a free role. He popped up a lot into the middle. Like I said, in terms of central positions as well. He didn't hug the touchline. He didn't. It was a case of Tyreek Mitchell was doing most of the attacking.
Drifts in the centre,
when we played in the Emirates with 2-2. So the way Mikel Arteta is going to want Eze to play for us, he's going to want to do the Martinelli up and down. That's not Eze. No. So again,
is it time for Arteta to go for the individuals rather than the system, or find some level of balance that gets the best out of these? Because defense, it don't matter who rocks up. I have complete confidence.
It depends on that lobotomy that he needs to have. Is he
one love for the super chat
and not be married to his system, or not be married to the way the players should play? Because as I said before, if you're going to play as it down the left, just be honest with yourself. Be honest, and don't make up sort of like chatting noise or myths. And say, look, this is the manager we know. He doesn't want his right left winger to have a free role and find himself in the sort of middle of the park, which Eze was doing.
Like this?
Yeah, but I don't know.
In that.
That goal, if Eze played like, if Eze played like Martinelli, he will never, in that cup final against Man City, he would never have been in that position to score the goal for that final. he would never have been in the position to score a goal in a semi-final.
Individuals always make the difference, man.
And that's the thing. You're talking about Eze, and you're seeing him at Crystal Palace. But what I'm trying to tell you that at Arsenal, we play differently for Crystal Palace. He's the main man at Crystal Palace. He is a guy, right?
He was a big fish in a small pond.
Now he's just another good brilliant player that we have potentially, right? So he's just one of a pack of very good players. He's not the main man. He's got to adjust the way Mikel plays. You're not going to see the best of Eze on the left-hand side. I promise you, you won't. You won't.
At this point, just stick him on the pitch, man. I wanted to ask you lot something, yeah, because it does baffle me. Like, I know I'm not going to say I'm not a coach and things, but obviously we play out from the back. Obviously, if you make mistakes in the defensive third versus the attacking third, in defense, it costs you, innit? But it feels like we take more risks playing out from the back and everything in our half than in their half. Like, why is that for you lot, if you lot know?
Baffling, isn't it? It's baffling. You know, you got Raya committing madness and yet taking risks, passing it out, practically giving the ball straight to Van Dijk and letting him dribble through. You know what I mean? You got Raya taking all sorts of risks and the defence taking all sorts of risks trying to pass it out. And yet in the final third, we don't take any risks at all. Again, you know, people say, "Oh, yeah, you've got to blame the players," but you can't blame the players. It's how this manager sets up.
Not the players anymore.
And man. David Raya is going to get caught out a few times. He's going to get. You're going to
having a ball playing keeper.
You're going to see some crazy goals scored against Arsenal this season, and it ain't going to be defensive errors. It's going to be crazy errors from.
Look at the goal. We saw it last season. Look at the goal. Look at the goal, right? That Mateta scored at the Emirates.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to happen playing up from the back. It's like the pros have to outweigh the cons, boys.
I always think you make
risking the attack.
If it's on, it's on. If it's not on, you just get rid of it and you just try and play its feet.
And the craziest thing, when we did go long to Madueke, that looked like the where we were going to do something.
I mean, but we've been talking about Eze and we've been talking about Skelly and we've been talking about Wanyeri and everyone else. But for me, the biggest problem with this football team and this manager, apart from Martinelli, but the biggest problem with this football team and with this manager, and it's getting overlooked, is Gyökeres.
He's not fit.
We have been praying for an out and out forward for many seasons, right? We've
like
needed
trainers are not learning how to do your laces
for many seasons.
Guys, I'll tell you that. Sorry, DJB.
No, go on. I was just about saying this guy has rocked up.
He's not fit though. He's not fit.
No, but this guy. But even if he's fit, there's signs that there's.
I don't think he's fit enough.
But even when he's fully fit, Kenny, there's still we're still not playing to his strengths. This guy has been smashing in goals for fun all around Portugal and everywhere he's played, right?
Yes, sure,
yeah. He comes to Arsenal and he's looking like someone that we've just signed from Division 2.
Yeah,
he looks like he's doing London Marathon, and that's the case for every
He's running into, and we're not finding him with anything. Even like Zubamendi and Rice are getting the ball, they're looking up. He's off making his runs, and they're playing it sideways and backwards.
If anything, United was the only game I saw us do something differently in the final.
I hear what you're saying, guys.
He's just going to look ordinary. All he's going to do is feed off the scraps, and he'll get his goals from the penalty spot and against lower teams. That's all he's going to do.
We can kiss goodbye to 15, 20 goals in the league then.
Yeah, it's not happening. He ain't scoring over 20
goals. Then we're just placing their hopes on Saka again.
I might be proving wrong, mate. Smokey, sorry about you, mate. Sorry about you, mate.
Smokey, sorry to hear that, man.
I lost friends. I'm sorry, Smokey.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. Big up, some things in life is more important than football. Big up, my friend.
Definitely,
my guy.
Yeah,
definitely. But
R.I.P. Smokey. Yeah, bless Smokey, my friend. Bless him. No, it's going to be. I'll
tell you that, DJB. You're going to say the same thing about Eze because these are players. You know where
every attacker
is another option. Look, it's not me having a go at the manager and being anti-Arteta. I just can't see at this state of play at the moment that he's going to change the way we play and amending in order to fit our plays he signed. Now, if you want me to be mischievous, right?
That's why he wanted Sesko, though, Kenny, isn't it? That's why he wanted Sesko. Because he didn't have to change. He never had to change the way he played.
That wouldn't have banged as well.
Yeah, but DJB, you know what we're going to be saying that? If we don't get to see Eze play at his best, or we don't get to see Eze play on a regular basis, we're going to come to the same conclusion as well about did he really want Eze? And that's one of the things I always said. I've loved Eze to be in this team. But I'm telling you
now. We're all buzzing about Eze.
Yeah, but telling you now, I had no problem, being the guy who says Father of Christmas doesn't exist and saying the tooth fairy is as big as a load of rubbish. If you want to lose your tooth, just call me and I'll give you the five myself. I'm that type of guy. And unfortunately, the reason why is that me and my brother was thinking, don't you want Eze? I said, yeah, I want Eze. But but as a footballing person, I've got to be true to myself. In this team under Mikel Arteta, I'm struggling to see with this system and his method of play, how he's going to get the best out of Eze. How is he going to fit him into the side? I said the same. I feel the same about Gyökeres. I love having him here, although I prefer Sesko because I think Sesko is better fit. A fit Sesko is better suited to the way we play. However, that is going to be Mikel's biggest challenge, to get all these players in and get them into a situation where he finds a clear playing style, gets the best out of them. We're on the front foot, and he has to do it quickly because we're in the title charts. Because guess what? The end of the season, this season is not a season for experimentation. There's no experiments this season. It's a case of 7 years down.
Are we being hypocritical then with that?
What's that?
Are you being hypocritical then, Kenny, with that?
With what?
Because we ain't seen Arteta attack. We want him to attack, but then to attack you have to experiment, innit? And then we're saying it's not the season for experiment.
You say that. What I meant by in terms of experiments is that, let me rephrase what I've got to say. This season, regardless of the new players we have in the team, and regardless of how Mikel adjusts, he's got to find a way to get him up and running. In pre-season, one of the things we said about Gyökeres is that Gyökeres is under extreme pressure because of the pressure we're under to win the title. There's no bedding in period. There's no settling in period. He has to hit the ground running. I did say that, didn't I? In pre-season. The same with Eberechi Eze. He has to find a way to hit the ground running. So in order to for them to hit the ground running, you have to put them in positions where either they in training they get it and they crack on with it and they think, right, I get the way we play, I'm in tune, and boom, I'm good to go. Or you try and get the best out of them by making a tweak into the way you do tactically. Either way, they've got to hit the ground running, because guess what? Whilst they're trying to find their feet, Liverpool could be running away with it, because guess what? Even without Isak, Ekitike's good to go, isn't he? Salah, who's done sweeter face, scored against Bournemouth, and he created
the reigning champions as well.
You know what I mean? So they're good to go. You know what I mean? And they can actually carry Wirtz and probably carry Isak because they've got a cushion of the wings.
No, because he's not fully fit.
At Arsenal, we have to be immaculate. So either way, those guys got to hit the ground running.
He's got to make it. His in-game management's got to be spot on. I mean, look what Arnie done on the second half there. You know, he bought off McAllister, and he makes big decisions. He done it against Newcastle, didn't he? When his back was against the wall.
That's what we're missing from Arteta.
Makes big decisions, and that's what we're missing. I just want him to make big decisions. If he gets it wrong and it fails and it don't come off, fair enough. But at least I can see some hope. At least
he might save us on another day.
At least what he's trying to do is positive. But at the moment, all I'm seeing is the same old, safety first. How can I not lose the game? And then when the game's getting away from us, you're thinking, right, make yourself. He should have made his substitutions before Liverpool made theirs, but he didn't. Do you know what I mean? Make the substitutions. Do it a bit earlier. You can see Martinelli. See, what gets me, he keeps Martinelli on for 70-odd minutes, dropping a stinker, ineffective. Keeps him on for 70 minutes. What manager
Is that
does
because
that?
he was tracking back? To be fair, that's the one thing Nelly did, but it's
Do you know
not.
what I mean?
We don't
But
really
like,
want to talk about that.
I'm just. What I'm saying is, you got Eze sitting there. You got Eze sitting there, and his first touch of the ball, he roasted Szoboszlai or
When he
or
dropped his shoulder,
yeah, dropped his shoulder and spun past him. Done more than what Martinelli had done in 70 minutes. And you got Eze sitting on the bench, and 70 minutes has gone by, and you're thinking, "Come on, where's the substitution? When are you going to make these changes? It's not quite happening for Liverpool. They're starting to get on. They're starting to get on top of us in the second half. Do something different." And I'm with you, DG. This is what's frustrating me with this manager. I'm seeing time and time again. PSG, all of these big games, make the decision, do the changes, do the thing that's going to try and get us over the line, and he doesn't do it. And then we're back here again saying about the same things. And the annoying thing about this manager is he never takes accountability. If he'd have come out in a press conference and said, "I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I set up wrong. I got it wrong. You know, it's down to me. You can't blame Martinelli. You can't blame the players. I don't want anyone blaming Zubimendi for the free kick. It's all on me, blah, blah, blah." You'd have some sort, but he doesn't. He doesn't. He swings it around, and it's just he comes out with all these kind of lies about Mosquera making his debut when he made his debut against Leeds. You know, he's coming out with all, and no one questions him. No one questions him. He's just like, I can say what I like. I'm not going to get challenged. I'm not going to get questioned. So therefore, I can just get away with it. And meanwhile, what's happening is we ain't winning big, important games. We'll have our moments. That's what we are at the moment. I've been saying this for the last 2 seasons. We're Moments FC. We have a moment. We're going to smash someone.
But that's actually what's harming us, though, because we actually win a lot of games. We don't lose that many times. But when it comes to the Liverpools or Paris Saint-Germain, Paris Saint-Germain, like you said,
big games,
not on the right side.
When it comes to
Gaffer to get on the right side now.
When it comes to big games, he ain't getting us over the line. And now the excuses are running out because the foundations have been laid now, because we've been told that we've got one of the best squads in the Premiership. We've got squad depth. You know, we've done madness in the windows. We've signed this Eze. We've got our number 9. We've got this one. Yeah, we're running. There's no more excuses now. We've been told, but what about injuries? Well, that's all right because we've signed Madueke and we've got this and we've got this one.
Well,
we've got Norgard. Yeah, we've got Zubimendi. We've got this. We've got Mosquera. We've got this one. So now, apparently, all the players that we've signed are top quality players that's going to take us to the next level, according to most of the fan base. But when you
they should take us to the next level,
and they should take us to the next level, 100%. So we have got squad depth. We have got the squad.
Come in now.
So you can't use that. You can't use that. Mosquera came in, looked okay. Looked as if he's got something about him. Not been, looks as if he's got something about him. So, and
another positive on Sunday.
Yeah, I've never had a problem defensively. The
midfield and mainly the attack.
I've never had a problem defensively. The problem I've had with this manager is in-game management, his decision making, from transition into attack, and making those and trying to outwit the other manager in games, and he hasn't been able to do it.
Well, that
and
close.
So this is why, and it's not. This is what I'm saying. It's not as if it's a new thing. It's not as if now we're sitting here talking about something that's suddenly just come about. Oh, it's only just happened. No, this has been happening repeatedly all the time.
You know what, guys? You know what, guys? We've got his team selection in 10 days' time. It's going to be very interesting because by that time, because we're playing Nottingham Forest, the others are going to be us to be on the front foot. The defence picks itself. The bed makes itself in that respect. The midfield,
I think that'll be Lewis Skelly's first start.
The midfield only got to fit the play. So that, in essence, in essence, either he take that picks itself, so the bed makes itself. The front three is going to be very interesting.
Madueke, Eze, Gyökeres.
But hang on here. We don't know Eze's going to play on the left-hand side.
Against Nottingham Forest, I bet you any money he does.
Hey, I thought you'd start Anfield. I was wrong.
Nah, you knew better than that, man. You knew better than that.
I want him on the left, DG.
We all thought he would start. We all thought he would start. He's good to go. We thought he would start.
I'm at the point, just get Eze on the pitch, innit? Cool, Odegaard's going to
get him on the pitch. Get him on the pitch, I see that. But long term, do we want him on the left constantly? The only reason why we're saying put him on the left is because we know this manager hasn't got the balls to drop his captain. That's the only reason. He hasn't got the balls to drop the captain. So it's easy for us to turn around and go, yeah, Eze on the left. Because then we haven't got to worry about Odegaard. He ain't a problem now, is he? Odegaard's not a problem. There's
another problem.
When did Madueke get his first start in the Prem? Apart from this Liverpool game, it's an easy one starting him at home.
Madueke can't go no further. What you saw when
it's the chess match, that's now where Eze might not start.
Madueke's, there's levels. But if Madueke gives him what he wants on the right-hand side, this manager will try and use Madueke on the left-hand side not because he does this and that, because he does this and that.
So okay, for Nottingham Forest, Madueke is on the left, but then who's on the right?
I'm asking for a question for a footballing point of view. You guys,
he's going to line up similar to what he did against Leeds at home against Forest.
I genuinely think Madueke is.
But the question is, you guys are Arsenal fans, right? You know how we play. You know what the manager expects of the players. You're telling me, you're trying to convince me that he'll play Eze at left wing to do what Martinelli does, that and that. When you know that's not his
try. He'll give him his try. And let's be honest, Eze will do anything Arteta tells him to. He's that happy to be at Arsenal now.
I ask you again, how is he going to fit Eze in the team?
He's not going
to.
Kenny, he's not going to.
How is
Nottingham Forest are going to sit back? That's the easy one for Eze.
If we do this and that, even against the Portuguese,
because he knows Nottingham Forest. He knows Nottingham Forest are a counter-attacking team. So don't be surprised he don't start Martinelli on the left to adapt to their counter-attacking, right?
Maybe to give.
Therefore, Eze is not going to play in the 10 because he'll play Odegaard. And on the right, he'll start with Madueke.
What if Eze starts in the 10, Odegaard's on the bench? You ain't got Martinelli and Madueke.
Listen, you're talking Arteta, DG. Come on. He's not going to drop Odegaard, man. He's not going to drop Odegaard.
No, but he might not be fully fit. I don't even know if he's gone off with Norway.
Arteta, unfortunately, hasn't got that kind of courage. He's not brave enough to do that. What I'm saying is he's going to start Martinelli on the left. He'll start Odegaard in the 10 if he's fit, and he'll put Madueke on the right because I don't think Saka's obviously going to be back.
I'd love to see Amanieri get started.
He'll start with Eze on the bench. Telling you that'd be his lineup against Forest.
Forest Eze starting, man. I'm willing to put money on it. I think I know. I think Eze
I want him to start, but I also want him to succeed. And I don't think he'll succeed on that left-hand side.
No, do you really think Eze can't thrive off that left though? Like, is it really that much of a no-go?
Because the manager the way we play, the manager wants up and down. It's not because
he can do that. He's at Palace. He can do that. I'm not saying I want it.
He can't defend. He's not a defensive midfield player.
Palace.
Eze never had to track back at Palace. Really.
Free roll.
No matter how free it is, he never had to track back.
He's chucking him off the bus, DG. Eze, you watch 2 seasons. You watch Eze. If he keeps Eze on the left-hand side, you watch Eze in 2 years' time, mate.
No, I don't want that on a consistent basis. But where I'm at as an Arsenal fan right now, I've accepted, like what you lot are saying, Odegaard ain't getting dropped. We know who's in midfield. I don't think at this moment in time, Arteta is doing any radical changes. So it's either Eze off the left or it's a bench thing, no? So run him off that left-hand side, man.
You're playing the guy on reputation because you want all your best players playing. But this is the fact is, from the way we know this manager, whether we like him or not, we know him. We know what he wants and what he likes, and we go by then. We know why Kai Havertz plays because of work rate off the ball, and because he can play. You can give him two or three options. We know why Martinelli plays because of this and that.
Yeah, Yeah, but look how many additions you've got that can. All right, look, you got Madueke, who his strongest position might be a right winger, but you are going to play significantly off the left at points. Eze, cool. I'd rather you as a 10 or an 8, but you can play off the left. Calafiori, we hope you stay fit. Who else did we get? We got the Ecuadorian lad, Hincapie. That's another left-hand option. Surely Mikel Arteta understands I have to try something else on that left, and there's little bits and pieces.
There's one for you then. There's one, DG, right? There's one that some people might not. How about putting Skelly left back and Calafiori on the left?
I can't say I want to see it, man. I thought we were done with left backs playing left wing with the whole team.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what? That might be more realistic, to be fair.
I'm thinking outside the box. Arteta.
To be honest, we might probably more likely to see that.
This is what he could do. You just don't know with this manager, honestly. Logic is not in his way of thinking. His way of thinking, he must go to sleep of a night and he must sit up all night thinking, right, how can I bamboozle every single Arsenal fan in that stadium? How can I do it? I'll tell you what, I'll put Calafiori on the left, I'll put Skelly left back, I'll put Eze on the bench, I'll put, this is the sort of thing he could come up with. No, but seriously, Eze should start against Forest. I'm with you on that. He should start against Forest. But if you're thinking the way this manager sets up and the way Forest play as in a counter-attacking team with pace, let's be honest, they've got pace. They've got pace, Nottingham Forest. When they break in numbers. They don't just hang about, right? And he knows that. This is why he might start Martinelli on the left for his defensive duties. And this is why he ain't going to drop the captain. So don't be surprised, as what Kenny said. Don't be surprised as they don't start.
No, I'm definitely not surprised, but like, surely Nottingham Forest, it just stinks of this is where Eze.
But wasn't you not like this before the Liverpool game? Surely Eze's got.
I knew in my heart Eze weren't starting,
and then he rocks up with Marino.
Sure, I must admit, I don't know what I'm not trying to be in midfield. I
genuinely thought he would start. I genuinely thought he would start. And
everyone went apart from showing he's Marino.
And the thing that got me is that Odegaard was in the side, and rather than start a player that could play, that you could
have a look at in the 10, to be fair, or 8, whatever.
Look at that position. He played Mourinho in that midfield 3, and that's when
we saw it at Bournemouth away and Newcastle when it did not work last year.
Yeah. And
so he hasn't learned, where's he learned from his mistakes, man? Where's he learned?
I'm thinking you didn't start your blue ribbon signing, who you nicked off Tottenham, and the blue ribbon signings on the bench with the captain, who we thought we could replace, and you played the athlete,
gifted kids.
I used the term loosely at left wing. I'm just thinking at the time. I know it's Liverpool at Anfield, but come on. I just thought it was a good time
to start. Best form of defence, and I think we need to install a bit of that in our team.
SLD, talk football, mate. Don't worry about GA, all right? Don't worry about GA.
He's in charge of the channel, man. Don't back.
Haaland could be clean through on goal and miss, but he'll have a better GA.
If he's our main left winger, we're not winning the league with him.
If you're clutching there at GA, mate, then you're part of the problem while this manager's in a job.
I love Martinelli. 50. I'll bite your arm off right now for 15 GA. That's not happening.
If he
don't win your matches,
your main left winger, forget about winning the Champions League and winning the league. Simple.
Say that again, Kenny.
With him.
The only time GA comes into effect is if the ball ripples the back of the net. Simple as that.
Fact.
Forget it. Don't get me wrong. He might score at the Bernabeu. He might score.
Game player he is.
But as you say, when you say we're a moments team, well, he's one of the biggest moments merchants out there. But the trouble is, those moments they're few and far between. Before, when he was in form. He was your classic moments player. But even
the best season Martinelli had was under Unai Emery.
Have we got to the point, lads, where we're scapegoating him though? Because we know how poor he is.
Yeah, I think so. I think
is he getting in? Because it feels like it's going to get a bit toxic for Nelly with Arsenal.
Welcome to big boy. Welcome to big time football. You're dead
I agree. I agree with Kenny on that aspect, that you've got to stand up and be counted, and you're into big time football and everything else. And he's not helping himself. However, this is a guy where the manager has not been able. I mean, look what we were saying against PSG when we didn't have no striker. Put Martinelli down the middle. Try something different. Put Trossard on the left. Try Martinelli down the middle. We're going out the Champions League.
I was surprised.
Right? And he hasn't tried him. And then when he did play him against Southampton, I think, down the middle, Martinelli got his mojo back. He had a spring in his step. You know, he was playing well. We saw a little bit of the old Martinelli. So I know Martinelli's got himself to blame of loss of form and everything, but at the end of the day, the manager hasn't helped him. It's the same with Odegaard. I personally don't believe Odegaard is that bad a player. It's just the manager has stuck with the same system week in, week out, and Odegaard in the same position. He's not tried anything different. He's not tried to try and get that little bit of appetite back in the player again. You know, and you said, DG, try Odegaard in a different position. Try him in the 8. There was loads of games he could have mixed it up a little bit to get the better.
I want to see Odegaard on his natural left foot, really, because obviously in the left foot on the right, you're going to take one touch too many on occasion.
But he's marked now. He's easy to mark, isn't he? Teams have sussed him out. He's easy to mark. Yeah. I always look at Odegaard.
We've got another option in terms of like the personnel, and that's the thing about the situation, is that the frustration and like starters at Anfield, there's going to be more frustration, potential frustration, if he's not maximising his squad. You know, players in Red Sun should not be playing football matches for this club. But if you've got a situation where players out of form, you have to have a situation where places are under threat. You can't have people comfortable. This side ain't won anything.
That's why you have big squads, Kenny, isn't it?
You get the benefit of that.
We've got now.
That's staying football. I'm not trying to cause problems or trying to throw me weight around or be controversial for the sake of controversy. But you only have to look as recently as the Sir Alex Ferguson years. Yes, they were under pressure form week in, week out. But when they were slightly out of form, because they've been so well and because they've lifted that title, Sir Alex gave them the benefit of that. Arsene gave certain players the benefit of that because of who they were. Everyone talks about Dennis Bergkamp. Let me tell you something about Dennis Bergkamp. The truth. Dennis Bergkamp didn't play week in, week out. There were some games where he didn't do anything. But because of what we knew Bergkamp could do, and because of what Bergkamp won with us, we gave him the benefit of that. Henry was the most consistent player. Henry was 10 times more consistent on a weekly basis than Bergkamp. But Bergkamp, because he was a moments player, because he did things we're thinking, you're not allowed to do that in the football field. A lot of Arsenal fans think he's the best player we ever had. But the fact is, I don't disagree with it, but I prefer Henry. But that's the thing. You have to earn the right to be out of form in order for fans to stay with you and your manager to stay with you. If you're in a situation where everything's up for grabs, then, especially when you haven't won trophies, which we haven't won for 6 years, you know, if you can't cut it, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And that's why Martinelli is easily scrutinised. He can't cut it. I want him.
But then it's not Martinelli. The club should have sold him, shouldn't they? The club should have sold him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
He should have moved on. He should have moved on last season, really. He should have been sold. You know, and he's been a bit scapegoated. But it's a problem now. It is a problem now because he's got these players to choose from, and it's up to him now. I mean, someone said to me the other day, "Oh yeah, but now he's learning something different now because he's got all these players to choose from. He's never been there before." This guy's 7 years into management. He ain't a rookie anymore.
No, he's not.
He's a manager.
And you've been at City. You might not have been the City manager, but you've been there with
You can't keep saying, "Oh, he's learning. He's learning." No, we've done his learning. He's done his processes. He's done his phases. He's had his phases. He's had his processes. It's all done.
He's got experience, manager, but I'm proving you're a winning manager now, man.
He's got experience now.
He's managed the third biggest club in the country. Yeah. One of the one of the biggest names in Europe, despite not winning the Champions League, a big name in Europe. He's managed 2 Champions League campaigns, got to a quarterfinals and to a semis. In his last 3 seasons, he's finished second. 2 of those seasons when he finished second, he was in a Championship challenge.
So close.
So he knows about runnings. That's experience itself. He's not inexperienced no more.
No, exactly.
You've got enough lived experiences in your short career as a manager to learn now, and you've got to reinvent yourself.
And it don't matter what you say. If you're a proper Arsenal fan, you would have felt let down Sunday. I felt let down. I felt as if the manager had let me down Sunday.
Yeah.
My expectations were sky high. I'm thinking, okay, we can go there and do something. We can go in there and create madness, even if we lose. Go and express yourself. Go and set a marker down to the rest of the league. Get these pundits saying, "Oh, you've seen how Arsenal are playing now. You've seen Arsenal are going to dungeon." These pundits have gone. What have they all said all week long? Same old Arsenal. Manu Petit on TalkSport the other day.
I don't even mean fair because Liverpool did the same thing.
You see with Gyökeres, right? Bro, I hear you, but one loss away to the champions is why are we losing our heads? I don't get it. I'm not in his offer. If you heard what I was saying previous to the season even starting, I said, first and foremost, that we have to lay down a marker. Yeah. If we had won, I believe, Gyökeres, that you would have had a lot of options and you thought, right, we're the title favourites. So Scripps won. We didn't win the game, so you didn't go to script run. So you got, even though you're not a Arteta fan, you got the script B, which is what's all the fuss about? We've lost to the champions. I bet you weren't saying that prior to the game. Another thing as well, and it's factual. It's proven.
It's the most beatable Liverpool have looked against us at Anfield in a long time.
It's been proven as well. This is a season where everything Arsenal does is under scrutiny. Not just from Arsenal fans, but from other fans and from the media, be it new media or the mainstream. So we are going to get upset if Arsenal lose again because the pressure the club's under to win the title is going to be immense. And that's despite the fact that City, right, are going to, like I said, they got a massive squad. Yeah, they're losing games, but what if they get their act together and they go on a run? Or what about, and the people say, yeah, but Liverpool, yeah, they're meant to be the favourites. Yeah, despite that, Arsenal still have to win the league because it's so long without us winning anything. It's so long.
Point blank period.
It's so long without us having any sign of glory. The pressure's on. And you see the amount of money we spent. I've forgotten how much we spent. We just simply be signing players. We've got a much better squad than we had in 23-24. So the players are there to win the league. So whether we like it or not, a draw is going to sound like a defeat. A defeat is going to be a catastrophe because the pressure on an Arsenal is going to be unbelievable. We have to win every game because we now know that without playing well, Liverpool got 9 points. And that when they do get their act together and Isak gets on board and gets really fit.
And if they do drop points, we need to be able to take advantage, which we didn't do last year.
It's highly likely, and you never know what could happen, but if you're to use footballing logic, if Isak gels, as well as Ekitike, they're going to go on. They can go on some insane run because they are 100% better than a lot of teams in the Premiership. Probably not us, but they're better than the rest of them. And they can just go, and by the time we get our act together, it's too late.
But you can't. What I'm trying to say is, though, you can't keep gassing up the team and the manager and how brilliant our wind has been in the summer and how brilliant our squad is. And then you go to Liverpool and you lose like that. It's a way of losing, and there is a way of losing. The fact that we lost and never laid a glove on them, we had one shot. Medway cake. Half volley from a half-clear corner. One shot. That was it. One shot. We've spent £320 million in the summer. £1 billion in total. Over £1 billion in total. We go to Anfield and have one shot. And Yeah, it's no problem losing against champions. Teams do lose at Anfield. Arsenal lose at Anfield regularly. That's not the problem. It's the manner that we've set ourselves up. We've not even given ourselves a chance of winning. Our first priority was not to lose, and it didn't work. And if it doesn't work, you've got to take the consequences. And the consequences of that is criticism. Other channels might not do it. Other media might not do it. But there are fans that will do it. And as long as we keep on doing it, it's going to be getting called out, because there are times when you have to criticise this manager's judgment. And
in the same way, if we did a madness, praise.
Exactly. And on the flip side of that, which I've done many times, when we have had good results, I've gone, he got it right. He got it right. This was right. That was right. This was right. Unfortunately, there are more times he's getting it wrong than he is on getting it right. And if you look at the Arsenal-Man United game in the FA Cup, you look at the Arsenal-Newcastle Carabao Cup 2 legs, you look at the Bayern Munich the other season, Champions League, PSG in the semi-final, gets it wrong. And this is why you have to question why this man is still in charge of this great football team. You have to question it.
Go on.
You have to question it.
Speaking of that, though, there is some rumors. I don't know if I've been, while we've been live, I've been trying to find the credibility, but some people have been commenting that apparently Josh Kroenke has held a meeting with Arteta discussing what he expects this season. He's given Arteta everything he has asked for and expects to have a successful season. Trophies must be won. Now, I can't back the credibility of this because I haven't seen it with the Athletic, but what do you not make of that for history?
Yeah, but you know what? It's logic. You know, the thing with football is that even the bullshit can be believable. One thing about Arsenal, right, is that you'll know when Arteta is under the pump, because what will happen is that the club won't sort of like confirm or deny.
David Ornstein won't say the internal pressure isn't reflected.
You know, the fact is that he's already under pressure. We spent a lot of money. He's brought in Berta. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Berta overruled him over the player he really wanted. Perhaps Berta probably didn't want Zubimendi, because he certainly didn't want Sesko. Who was responsible for
the Athletic said that around Zubimendi, like the deal was already done. Had Berta been in, there might have been other sixes.
Yeah. So who actually wanted Eze in the side? Eze was desperate for Spurs, and then at the 11th hour, when we had an injury to Havertz, we got our act together.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Kenny, because if we really wanted Eze, we'd have got him in July. Why did we wait till nearly the end of the window before we got Eze and Havertz was injured? See, this is what I'm trying to say. Everyone was saying about, oh yeah, you know, he really wanted Eze. No, if Arteta really wanted Eze, we'd have had him in the door, early doors. He'd have gone on tour with us. So Eze weren't his man, because he would have been at the club a lot longer, a lot quicker than he would have been at the club, like Zubimendi. But getting onto that Josh thing, I've said this before. The thing is with any owner, it gets to a point where, and no matter what you say about owners, and you can criticise every single owner of every single football club, the fact of the matter is they put their hands in their pockets. This guy has spent over £1 billion at this football club, and he has seen nothing won. So there comes a point where he's going to turn around and go, right, when I appointed this manager, the short-term goal was to get Arsenal competing. The mid-term goal was to get them into the Champions League on a regular basis. Those two boxes have been ticked. The third goal is to get them winning trophies and major trophies. And that box hasn't been ticked. So at the end of the day, whilst that box hasn't been ticked, this manager is under serious pressure. Serious pressure. This is why this season, all eyes are on him. And that's why I keep going back to the Liverpool starting lineup. And this is why a lot of people are talking about it. because they weren't really looking at the performance. They was looking at what Mikel Arteta was doing. And this is what it's going to be like every single game. Nottingham
Every
Forest,
game's on knife edge, man.
Newcastle away, Man City at home, Champions League qualifiers. Everything is going to be on what Arteta does. They're waiting for him to fall on his feet. They're waiting. And it's him himself has put that self in his position. He's brought this pressure on himself because he's had countless of opportunities to win trophies and he hasn't done it. So all the pressure now on him has been brought on by himself. Don't want all this. I feel sorry for Mikel because he's under pressure. Look what the marvelous
things.
That's over
with now, man.
No. When you're on £15 million a year and you're not producing, you've bought it on yourself. So yeah, if that is true, and Josh Kroenke has had a meeting with him, then he knows in uncertain stances that he's got to win. He's got to win trophies. Simple as that.
You know, it's GJB and DG. Even without the fact that Josh had a meeting with him, even if Josh says he's backing him, he's under pressure anyway because
of course he is.
For the first time in a long time, he's had a technical. He hasn't had Edu to work alongside. He's had
one of the best in the business.
But that brings extra pressure because one of the best in the business is going to start recommending players. And sometimes it's going to be players you don't want. I call him open goal Berta because logically, these are the players who can fill a squad. But it doesn't mean because I call him open goal Berta that Mikel will want these players. But let's talk to the pressure in itself. Forget the fact we haven't won it for 6 or 7 years. By having Eze in that side, in the squad, he's immediately under pressure to think about what he can do to get the best out of him. He's got Gyökeres, and that striker, that's pressure in itself because of how am I going to get the best out of these players?
And
so he's already under pressure.
If he's not scoring there,
but he's got good pressure because if certain players are injured, the goalkeeper's injured, he knows of Kepa. He knows that Kepa, has played big games, so he suppose I can work with that. In terms of that's the good pressure. But the fact is, you're always going to be under pressure when you spend big money on players because when you spend big money, 9 out of 10 times it's because you've got your own way. When owners and sporting directors give managers money to spend, which managers always ask for, because when they don't get their own way, they say, I haven't had money to spend, that's why I can't win. Well, now you've got the money to spend, you've got the big squad that you probably were asking for, or not. That's pressure in itself. Josh doesn't have to be there to sit him down and say, this is what we expect. The players that are going to put him under pressure are going to be the big signings who, in any other walk of life, will start games. Gyökeres is always starting games. Eze is going to be like the enigma for him. And how am I going to get this guy in my team?
1, 2, 3. They need to be starters. You got another left back as well.
Madueke is another thing. Another situation.
Madueke is another thing. 50 million. Get some potential out of him.
So the pressure's there in itself. You think about the money we spent.
I only see 2 of those players of those 8 signings. 2 of those players
to start games.
If played in the right way, under the right system, would take us to the next level. Other than that, I see players.
You don't think there's 3 in there?
No, 3.
Zubi, Gyökeres, Eze. They're the only level raisers.
Possibly
I have hope for Madueke. I like
possibly
him to
free. Possibly free.
You're forgetting one thing, guys. You're forgetting one thing. When he's fully fit, sometime this season, and he's good to go.
You got Havertz coming.
We're still going to have the conundrum of Kai Havertz.
Of course you are.
He'll play Havertz. He rates really highly.
You're going to have Eze and Gyökeres on the bench, and you'll have Havertz and Odegaard.
Yeah, but they're the players he rates.
What's happening?
Yeah, but that's pressure in itself. But those guys have to produce numbers week in, week out. Kai Havertz has to be, forget about assists. He's got to be the man
Do you reckon Mosquera's Saliba's replacement when he goes in January?
Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully, he doesn't go anywhere in January. But there's probably long-term thinking with that.
That's a good question. But one thing is one thing we can't deny.
But on the new contract, man.
We're having a go. I think Mosquera and Hincapié are better understudies than Kivior and Tomiyasu. And that's not doing them down.
Well, we never see Tomiyasu and definitely Kivior.
From what I've seen, the potential that both those have, I wouldn't lose sleep if both of the ad centre halves are out and these two were in, because I like Tomiyasu. I always have a lot of time for him because he works hard. I've never been convinced.
No one's convincing me of Norgard and Madueke long term at this point.
You know, Kivior
Madueke because of age. Norgard, 18 months, 2 years.
I'm not convinced, man. I'm sorry.
Norgard's basically what I call a Norgard is a steady Eddie. He's not a dibbly dobbly.
Yeah, he's not a bad player. But you're not here long term.
Like Trossard. He's a steady Eddie. He won't do anything. If you ask Norgard to go and build you a wall or make you a wooden table and then fit
he's just another El Neni, isn't he? He's another El Neni, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. They'll do what you tell them, but if you ask them to be creative, they're not going to give you creativity and panache.
If they ask Norgard for creativity, something is going wrong now.
Madueke is going to get a lot of game time because Saka's going to be in and out injured all season. Saka's going to be in and out injured all season. The manager's killed him off straight away. He's going to be in and out injured all season. So Saka's going to play 4 or 5 games, then he's going to miss 4 or 5 games, and he's going to come back for 3 or 4. He's going to be in and out, in and out, in and out. So you will see Madueke quite a lot. But other than that,
you may see him on the left.
And Gyökeres is looking like I thought he would look under this with the system we play. The style of football we play, Gyökeres is looking exactly how I would expect a number 9 to look in any team with those tactics. If you ain't creative, because we're not creative enough, Gyökeres just looks like a bang average player.
A question I was going to ask you though. You know, people say he's a flat track bully. Would it work for us having him in? Because the teams we should have been beating, remember we got 14 draws. A lot of those games some of those draws were against teams that we normally kind of put away. If we were to play devil's advocate and we think Gyökeres is a flat track bully and he starts scoring goals in those games, would that be enough to get us to the promised land?
No. Yes and no. We'd have more wins and score more goals.
How many points did we drop for the shit defending? He will score goals. As I said, he'll have his moments. If he starts in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, he might score a goal if we've got Burnley at home or something, you know. But what I'm saying is, unless Arteta changes the way he plays, and he ain't going to now, and this is why I want a new manager. If he changes the style of way he plays, then Gyökeres will bag goals. Eze will start football matches. Yeah. But he's not going to. He's not. Look at the players he's signed. Look at the players that have signed. Who are your most 2 attacking flared players out of all of that lot? You got Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres.
Well,
the rest are all defensive. It's all defensive. Hincapié, versatile. He loves that. He loves that versatility.
Loves a left back. I'm not going to lie. I wanted the left back.
He's never signed a player and played them in their proper position. Timber's not a fullback. He's a centre half. Plays him right back. Ben White he bought as a centre half. Plays him fullback. He's never the only players he's bought and he's played them in their proper position is the goalkeeper Rao. Other than that, all the players have not been played in their proper position. This is what I'm saying. It's absolute madness. Why don't you see? We need a left back. Go and sign a proper left back. Why have we got to sign someone that's versatile? Why have we got to sign a centre half and play him at fullback? Go and get a proper left back.
To be fair,
this is what I'm saying. What he should have done. What he should have done, Kenny. What he should have done. We needed our left-hand side. Our left wing was a problem. So he should have not signed Madueke and gone and got a proper left winger, a Lookman, Rodrigo, go and get a proper left winger. And then that left winger would have been got, and then you go and get your Eze and your Gyökereses and people like that. But instead of that, he goes and gets Madueke, who's a right winger that he's going to play left wing. So once again, he's wasted money on Madueke, and he's going to play him out of position. I can't see why other people don't get how this manager works.
They should do. They should
It's
do.
madness. It's absolute madness.
But you know what?
I'm cool with him.
I find it astonishing that I don't get how he plays. There's people who feign ignorance about the way he plays. Are the same people who say we've got the best defence in the country, and that Saliba and Gabriel are the best centre half pairing in the country.
Well, we'll see if they both get injured
definitely. But they also talk about how difficult it is to break us down and how great we are at set pieces. When they say that, then it's obvious how we play. But for some reason, they think that he's a top coach. There is the variety. Oh, why would he bought this player if he's not going to change the way he play? Yeah, we know that, but we didn't see any evidence of that at Anfield.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Someone said about Arne Slot plays players out of position. Well, why has he gone and got Gyökeres then when he needed a left back? Gyökeres is an out-and-out left back, right? I mean, am I wrong or right? What's going on here? I mean,
you're right.
Come on. Let you keep making excuses. Have a look at those players. Everyone's gassing up Mosquera, Hincapie and all of that. If Gabriel breaks down after a grade 3 hamstring and Saliba leaves in January,
God forbid.
Get your head around it. Hincapie and Mosquera are our centre-backs.
Sorry, DJB, how many years has he got on his contract?
Saliba.
Left his contract, Saliba.
He's still negotiating.
2027, isn't it? So what's that, 18 months?
Oh, right, 27. Yeah. So at the end of
negotiating it.
Basically,
he's going into his last year next year. This is what I'm saying.
A lot of that.
This is what I'm saying. We're looking at Mosquera. Oh, yeah, Mosquera this and Hincapie this and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's fine when they're coming in for Saliba and Gabriel.
Salah. Is he got due a new contract as well?
Yeah. Where you been? Of course, Saka and Saliba, they're the ones we're waiting on now.
They're the ones. That's the ones that are going to break the camel's back. If we don't win anything and Saka goes and Saliba goes, then it will start. People will start thinking, "Whoa, hang on a minute. Arteta might have to go here."
I believe in Burton, man. He's got all the other contracts. He's going to get Saliba and Saka tied up. Well, to be fair, I think Saka's signed. I think Saliba's gone.
DG, what I'm saying is, say Mosquera. Yeah, what I saw of him when he came on looks good. Is he Saliba? Is
100% he's not at 21.
No, exactly. So if Saliba and Gabriel break down, Mosquera and Hincapie are our centre halves.
You might have to shift Fury over there. To be fair, as well, there's the option of that.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, we've signed potentials, but we weren't in a position to have potentials. We can't have potentials. We haven't won anything. You just, do you know what I mean? I don't want to
disagree with that.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to be in a position this season where people say, "How do you think Arsenal are going to do against Forest?" Oh, we'll slap them 3 or 4-0. How do you think Arsenal are going to do away at Newcastle? Oh, yeah, we'll beat them 2 or 3-1. After watching that performance against Liverpool, I'm now looking at the Forest game thinking, Forest might get a draw there. I'm scratching my head. I'm struggling. So again, I'm going into another season. I'm going into another season under this manager, not confident about every single game. And it's not me being negative. It's just me looking with my own eyes.
No, you'll be realistic. You'll be realistic because you think about it. 2 weeks ago, we beat Man United, but there was no one shouting for joy because we didn't play well. We weren't impressive. We weren't impressed with that performance. So it's not the seeds to the Liverpool defeat was planted in the Man United performance. Another thing as well, you think about the Leeds game. The Leeds game, what the Leeds game told us, now the scales have fallen from our eyes, is that they're terrible. They're terrible. I haven't seen it, but they're terrible. But they were so terrible that we brought Max Dalman on for the last half an hour when we were 4-0 up. So, and Gyökeres was able to get a goal out of nothing. I'm not saying when he's half fit and he scored a penalty, the 5 goal, we did what we should have done. So it's one of those things where we'll learn more about us by the end of probably October. So we've got some games. A lot of them winnable, in my opinion, winnable. West Ham at home. You got Fulham away. So hard to beat. Bloody hell! It's like a man.
Fulham's tough at Craven Cottage. They're tough.
It's like doing trigonometry or algebra when we played it away from home.
But you say that West Ham have beat us at the Emirates last 2 seasons, Kenny.
Exactly. But and then I think we got Crystal Palace home as well.
And Potter schooled this manager, and when he was at Brighton, he schooled this manager.
Yeah,
so I'm not confident with that one. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone goes on about our record in the top 6, but
and the smaller games is where we've been kind of effing up.
Those are sort of games where if we just sort of bypass the Champions League, we bypass the League Cup in our faults, and we just talk about this league campaign.
Where we got Forest and City, then Newcastle away, then West Ham and Fulham away.
We kind of gauge where we are in terms of
the Champions League game. The Champions League game before the City games. This is where I worry.
What's the priority for you guys? What's the priority? The league and the cups, or just the league?
League and the Champions
League.
League and the Champions League. Yeah.
Bro, there can't be no priority going for both.
I want us to go for best, but I want the league more than anything else.
Champions League.
Well, I need the league more than the Champions League.
I need the league more.
Premierships are given, but if you give me champs, I'll be over the moon.
Yeah, I ain't seen us win the champs or have any European pedigree.
I just want a trophy.
Back in the day when we were kids, right? Not so much yourself, DG, but me and you, DJB. When we were kids, right? And obviously, you're more 70s and I'm more 80s, right? A McDonald's and a KFC was rare. It wasn't like a staple diet like it is now.
No.
So when we were kids, if someone brought you a McDonald's treat, it was something like, "Oh, McDonald's!" Oh,
it was a big treat, massive.
Oh, Wimpy! You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was massive.
Now it's like a staple diet for a lot of people. Well, for me, I still see the Champions League as a McDonald's as a
nice bonus, I
see that, but I want that now. That's where I'm at.
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from, Kenny, and I totally agree. Day in, day out, your bread and butter, you want to win the league. Of course, you want to win the league. Yeah. But if you was to say to me, right, there's 2 games. There's 2 games, and one of them you can win to win the Champions League, and one of them you can win to win the Premiership. I don't know, man. That Champions League, and it's only because, and this is the only reason why I say that, is because our record in Europe is absolutely abysmal for the size of our football club. For the size of our football club, our record in Europe is abysmal, and that's not just Arteta. That's managers gone in the past.
That's
Sonny George Graham. That's why he's the best manager of the football club's ever had. That's one in Europe, right? So our record in Europe is bad, and it's the only thing that the other clubs can lord over us. Your Liverpools, Man United's, Aston Villas, your Nottingham Forest, all of these teams, Chelsea, all of these teams have won the Champions League, and you have to put up with it day in and day out, and it's just sticks there. So if you was to give me a choice. If we get the Champions League, then we've completed everything. We've done the FA Cups, we've done League Cups, we've done Prems, we've done Champions League, we've done Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah. So that's the only reason. But I do understand that before the ball's kicked every season, the Premiership is the holy grail, without a doubt.
You're probably more likely to win the Prem than the Champs, in my opinion. But
I said it. I think this squad is more adapted of winning the Champions League than it is the Prem. I think
I don't know what we're on. Purely playing the Prem, you get more chances.
The way Arteta plays, I'm not saying it will win the Champions League, but the way Arteta plays and sets his teams up, I think we're more suited of going further in the Champions League than we are the Premiership. I might be wrong. I don't know.
I just think there's more margin for error in the Prem. Champs, when the romance is dead, we're in issues.
But let's not forget Paul Bell.
Can I just say something? For Gyökeres, for someone who says you're not an Arteta fan, you sure talk like one. You sure talk like one, because you said you're not an Arteta fan, yet you mentioned, oh, look where we are, 8th. He took us from 8th. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Go on, Kenny. Give him the facts on that.
I genuinely thought you'd come up so better, mate. All I've got to say to you, Gyökeres, don't bother saying you're not an Arteta fan. Just because it's a waste of time you saying that when you basically use the same rhetoric as someone who is an Arteta fan. For you to say, look where he's taken us from 8th to it suggests you're an Arteta fan. That's fine. But to try and gaslight everyone, that's not fine, because at the end of the day, we're all see, that's even bigger. I'm an Arsenal fan. That is exactly what a lot of Mikel fans will say. They won't say I'm Arteta in. They'll just use all the other sort of scripts and plots as to say, yeah, look where he takes us from there and there. And then we never really win at Anfield. It's only the 3rd game of the season. And the best one is, well, I back whoever's in charge because I'm an Arsenal fan. I back whoever.
You can get back. It doesn't mean you're free from criticism.
Wear the red shirt. We've heard this all before. You're not saying anything I didn't hear 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Tell me something different, Gyökeres. Tell me you're not an Arteta fan without proving you are.
Yeah. January is going to be a big month, man, for this football club. It's going to be a big month. Depending on where we are sitting in the league, January, you can forget all the cups where we are in that. January is going to be a massive month. If we're sitting 4th, miles off the top.
Would you buy in January? Would you buy in January?
I wouldn't buy in January. I'd sack the manager. No more buying now. No more buying now. No more buying. I'm not going to keep it. Penny, I buy a season ticket, you buy a season ticket. Now, listen, I buy a season ticket, you buy a season ticket. If it gets to January and we're lying 4th, 9-10 points off the top, and the football we're playing is absolutely crap, don't give this man any more money. Just sack him. Just get rid of him and get someone else in.
We're like the
NHS. We keep throwing money at it and it doesn't work.
Yeah, but do you admit defeat in January and say this isn't working, or do you wait for May?
No. Because if we're not going to win the Premiership, then you might as well get your manager in January so that it prepares you for the following season. Start again. This is why I wanted a fresh start this season. I wanted all them players. I wanted that pot of money. New manager, Arteta. Thank you very much. You've taken us to this level. You've got us competing.
Are we going to do what Tottenham did with Conte? They were in 4th place when they sacked him in 23. Now, don't get me wrong, he sacked himself. Yeah, but if he carried on,
I think long term, if they'd have stayed with Conte,
that season it would have imploded. Probably would have imploded.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, you Bert. If there's managers circulating in January, if there's top quality managers circulating in January, Bert's going to have his ear to the ground, isn't he? If things ain't going right by January, you can't. What I'm saying is, we can't be in a position where we was with Jurgen Klopp, where we missed the boat with Klopp. Do you remember? We missed the boat with Klopp. He ended up at Liverpool, right? We can't be in a position where quality managers are circulating and going to other clubs, and we've still got Arteta there. We've got to be in a position where if there's a top quality manager going and things ain't going right, we've got to be in a position that we can get them on board. Otherwise we'll end up with like your Cesc Fabregas at Arsenal and people like this. You know, so it's going to be it's going to happen. And another thing, Arteta will eventually leave this football club. He will leave this football club. and he won't give two hoots about it once he's left.
And that's why that's my thing. Is like, I know it's romantic to some, but it can't be a relationship in vain. Like, you're managing a massive football club.
Exactly,
get over the line. I don't want you to just learn and you F off somewhere and do the opposite of what's shagged you here and win stuff, and then we're left in the lurch. People need to remember that this is a relationship of convenience. Like,
it is. If you start falling in love with the manager and you think there's the grass ain't greener, that manager then goes somewhere else, and he ain't, and if he rocks up at the Emirates, he's going to want 3 points.
I'm going to be like mischievous. Sorry, Palace fans are watching. Glasner's threatened us to quit in disgust if Gagey, is sold to Crystal Palace. Was sold to Liverpool, and he got his own way. Well, hang on here. There's a vacancy in Leverkusen. The season before that, Leverkusen went unbeaten. Only lost one game of football, and that's the Europa League final. There's a vacancy there. He's just won the FA Cup for Crystal Palace. Who's to say if Leverkusen come knocking, he won't go back to Germany, even though he's Austrian? But obviously, the reason why I say he won't go back to Germany because he won. You remember he won
the Europa League with Frankfurt.
Europa League with Hamburg. Hamburg.
He's a good manager.
You talk about him getting his own way and everyone's patting him on the back, but he doesn't have to feel loyal to Palace.
No,
Leverkusen are bigger than Palace.
And they're going to end up selling Adam Wharton and He's going to leave. Obviously, Eze's car.
There's no loyalty in football now. That's what I'm saying.
Never been.
You can get attached. You can get as attached to whoever you like. There's no loyalty in football now. Them days are way gone. And it's the same as managers. These people. The people that go, "Oh, Arteta's this and Arteta's that." Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, but he'll move on. He'll move on, and Arsenal will become a distant memory very, very quickly. Trust me.
That's the beauty of football in itself. You got as ruthless as the players allegedly are. The clubs are the most ruthless people ever.
Exactly.
When I don't want you, mate, they don't want you.
I'm not here to back Tomiyasu, but Tomiyasu, like, your contract just got ripped up. You're barely fit. Clubs don't care.
Sterling. Look at Sterling.
Sterling as well.
DG likes Sterling. DG likes Sterling.
I definitely like Sterling now that you haven't left Chelsea. You're costing them 300 grand a week.
But he had offers, though. He had offers from the MLS. He had offers from Turkey.
He wanted.
You don't want to uproot his family, though, man.
But DG wanted Foden. DG wanted Foden at the club.
To be fair, I'd have Foden. All of a sudden, he wouldn't be overrated if he joins us.
Foden or Madueke?
Madueke's actually turned up, man. I've never seen Foden do
it. He couldn't bring himself to say it.
I've never seen Foden do it.
He could not bring himself to say Foden. No.
He called up the next club. I can't forgive Foden. I'd always get on to him.
Man's putting Madueke above Foden. I can't believe it.
Because I've never heard Madueke call us a dead club.
Foden's a fantastic.
No, I'm joking. I'm having Foden tomorrow if he's dumb enough to make me.
But you know my suspicion. My suspicions is when you're at a big club and you're a rival. I always look at you and I'm thinking, hang on here. If you can't cut it at a big club, what makes you think we're going to be any different?
Yeah, exactly.
As Sterling made me think that, but it's like when people say, "Oh, get Rashford," I was thinking, hang on here. If it's not working for him at Man United and he's disillusioned at Man United, he doesn't feel hungry at the biggest club in the world, then how's he going to do for us? And that's why
maybe there's too much on him at Man United. Like, you're their son.
Sometimes when you sign players, I always like to sign players who are hungry. I like hungry players. So, for instance, when I look at Rodrigo coming from Real Madrid to Arsenal, I like the thought of it. He's younger, but hang on here. You're coming from Real Madrid to us. Are you going to be hungry when you play for us?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Billy. But I would have liked that opportunity. It's like I'd have liked Grealish. I'd have taken a punt on Grealish on loan for a season, 100%. But that's my opinion.
He wouldn't. Yeah. Everton's the right club for him, man.
I think so because he can express himself, and he's not under the same amount of pressure at Everton than he would be at Man City.
Who's his manager again? I think You said he could express himself. Who's his manager against?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know. No, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
I
think
know
expectations at Everton is
he can be
different.
that big fish. Big
Yeah,
fish.
expectations.
Yeah, big fish in a small pond. Respectfully to Everton.
That's going to be a tough place to go this season, Everton.
It always is nasty ground.
I'm going to try
and
nasty
ground. Do you think like I love to go there because but like Goodison Park, it had Goodison Park.
It's not Goodison Park anymore, is it?
It was like this. It's like the crowd were right on top of you.
I love Goodison Park though.
And it needed a lick of paint. You know, it's one of those old grounds. Whilst the new ground, I think they've done it in a way. They've done it in a way where basically apparently they said the noise levels from the crowd onto the pitch is something else. I don't know how they design a stadium, but I look at the Everton Stadium. I'm thinking that could be a hindrance for them because at Goodison Park, it could be an intimidating ground when Everton got their act together.
That West Ham's place, isn't it? Really?
I don't think.
He went up the park.
Something about Everton.
Yeah.
There's something about them this season, Everton. I don't know what it is. Something about them in their attacking third. Moyes probably woke up and thought, "Hang on, I'm going to become more attacking here." He's changed his race. He's changed his tactics, hasn't he?
Didn't know manager do that.
He can do it.
It'd be interesting to from afar to watch a Merseyside derby there.
Yeah.
Liverpool gonna spank them, man.
The Newcastle Sunderland game, I'm looking forward to, man.
Oh, bloody! With
Granit Xhaka versus Joe Linton. Woof.
Yeah. He's doing all right at Sunderland, though, Xhaka, isn't he? He's got them going. He's got them going. Good luck to him. No,
that's got red cards all over.
You know what's happy with Xhaka? When Xhaka comes to Arsenal, our fans are going to really write history. It's like going, oh, God.
Yeah.
It's emotional. The same fans who said he couldn't tie his shoelaces for the first 2/3 of the time he was here.
He always out on his sleeve, though, man. Always had time for Granit.
I think with Granit, it was very easy to criticise the way he played.
On his sleeve type of guy.
Because of the fact that with Granit,
he only had one good season, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he had one good season.
One standout, yeah.
The thing, we kind of looked at Granit Xhaka as a midfielder, and we wanted more from him. We wanted creativity. We wanted some sort of panache, and he's just Granit Xhaka.
That's what I'm seeing in Zubimendi, though. I think with Zubimendi, I think his expectations is going to be huge, and I think you're not going to get that out of him. I think you're just going to get. I think you're just going to get
ticking over.
Zubimendi does, and that's just retain the ball. I don't think you're going to get this all singing, all dancing, creative player that everyone thinks.
Very intelligent player, but you're not. If you're looking for Zubimendi,
yeah, I think he's going to bring intelligence, but I don't think he's going to bring loads of. Do you know?
Exactly.
I'm going to have to leave you. I've got to leave you and leave the two of you to carry on.
Yeah, no, I've got.
I know you've got to go, man. We're going to wrap
2 hours, 20 minutes. What's going on?
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here
last week. We did 3.5 hours last week.
3 hours last week, man.
You know why? We segued into the great. You know what we got?
Yeah, we went on the History Channel.
No, what we got
down the history lane. Yeah, cool.
All three of us, we need to get one more person on because we need to talk about the great players from the sort of 60s to today, because there's a lot of people who push back when I mention certain players. So to balance out a potential podcast, we need to get everyone who's seen it, who is a Messi or Ronaldo.
Various different age groups.
And we need someone who's a Mbappe, and we need someone who's a Zidane, and we need someone who's a Cruyff, Pele. I think we need to have that podcast.
Cruyff, Georgie Best, Maradona. Level.
At least you didn't say Pele, man.
Me and DJB, the lucky, I've got the advantage is that we've seen all of the players play. We've seen all these great players play from past to the present.
Yeah.
And I feel luckier than you, DG, because I can genuinely say that, you know what? I can actually talk with authority on Maradona and Pele, and I believe I can talk with authority on the present-day players because, you know, I've been lucky. I've been lucky to see.
And you got to see it all, man.
And Zidane. And
I mean, that's more my agenda, Zidane's and Ronaldinho's and obviously Messi.
Maldini. Paolo
Before I go, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I go.
Crazy.
I'm going to let this because I always like to leave you guys thinking. And either you're going to want to throw things at me,
coming in, Kenny.
Yeah, look, he's going to drop a bomb.
I'm going to give you. Platini was better than Zidane.
100%. I agree with that, Kenny.
I mean, some older heads do say that, you know.
I agree with that. I agree with that. 100%.
Let us know in the comments if you lot agree. We're going to let these two get out of here. Just before we get out of here, mods, keep posting DJB's platform.
But big up, guys. Big up the chat. All your opinions are valid, all respected. Yeah. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. All about
watching you. It's
all about. Yeah, we're all watching. Yeah, we're all watching. No one's wrong. No one's right. We just want the best for us.
Subjective,
and that's it.
Hey, and JD, watching you and all.
Big up. If you fancy alternative, come across to the huddle. I have some good guests on there. We're having some good stuff. So sub to the huddle and all big man. Oh, we're on tomorrow. Kenny, you're on with me Thursday, aren't you?
What time is that?
Thursday, 5:30. Me, Aaron. 5:15. Me, Aaron, and Kenny.
Hey, big panel.
Yeah, Lee might be joining us as well. And on tomorrow, I've got Northski and Northside as well coming on as well. So yeah, all good.
So yeah, people, go and follow DJB's platform. Turn on the notification bells, and yeah, we're out now, man.
DG, what can I say? Thank you very much indeed, Kenny. Always a pleasure. And the chat, one of the best chats on the stream. I really enjoy the chat. It's challenging. It's good. I like it. It's really good.
Thank you, chat.
He's got a good chat here, DG. He's got a good following.
I'm here for the chat. I'm here just as much for DJB and DG, but the chat. The chat. You're addictive, man.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, DG. You got some good chat here, man.
I tried, man. I tried to get people we have a laugh and a joke. And
you know what, DG? I'm going to ask the chat a question. Arteta out or DG don't do any more streams. What one would you rather have? I reckon they'll back DG.
They're going to pick Arteta out, man.
No, they'll back DG. They'll say, I'm with DG.
But I do understand the game's the game. Some of them are really not with Arteta.
Some of them are too far with Arteta. They've got to get out of this.
Yeah. Some of them probably want to sleep with him. But we love you all regardless.
See you, Edis. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, take it easy, brothers. Take it easy. All the best.
Man, in a bit, man. Chat. One love, man. So yeah, follow DJ.
Big up. Stay safe, everyone. Take it easy.
Take it easy.